All right, now I'm sure you guys can hear me. Better make sure. But hopefully everyone's doing okay, having a good time. Give me 1 second. Get things going. Like the description says, it's kind of last minute, so I don't have actually any real particular topic besides winter because it's, well, snowing in Michigan, maybe the tri state area, as we like to say. Not as much in my area as they were calling for, which is kind of sucky, but still good. Getting something better than is getting nothing. So let me get some things kind of squared away real quick. I do have a couple things to talk about that relates to winter and stuff. I got a lot of tabs open. So hopefully it doesn't bog anything down. But we should be pretty cool. Got the cool shirt on to match the back screen. Right. So this is going to be a hangout. So I'm actually put the link in the chat right off the bat. Hopefully we'll have some cool people come on and all that, but we're not going to have some riffraff come in and cause a ruckus that doesn't need to be on tonight's show and stuff. There's a lot of things going around in the cryptid community as always, and drama abounds, and you never know who might show up once you put stuff in the live chat. We're at the point where we can still manage to be able to control things and stuff, but you never know what kind of riffraff going to be on here and all of that. I'm a little tired. I'm focused and all that because I just did some push-ups and stuff. That's why we were just slightly a little late and stuff, gawking at the phone and getting things going. I just noticed the last three letters of the of that link to come on is UFO, which is another topic that we sometimes discuss on here, and some people even see Bigfoot and stuff coming out of UFOs and aircraft and unidentified aircraft being flown over the same skies and woods areas, and even minutes after sightings and stuff. There's also few researchers that think that, of course, they are one and the same, or they are a different species of aliens, and however, or for whatever reason they are here is a mystery. I would say that if Bigfoots are flying around in UFOs and stuff, then there's little nefarious things going on, and why do they need to wood knock would be a pretty big issue that I would raise a red flag of, like, what do aliens and UFOs and highly advanced spacecraft, why do they need a tree knock, right? Or would that be some other kind of mechanism and stuff for some alien life form? So there's the link in the chat. I don't expect much people. It's kind of late on the East Coast anyways. And also, I really didn't put this out early enough to get a lot of notifications and stuff. So actually, I'm sure that YouTube will be slow on the draw to pump it out on their own because, if you don't stay with the algorithm and all that, you will lose your spot. And so we're kind of getting back in the live stream and stuff. We got a couple shows lined up, like I mentioned on the last show. This one was kind of last minute and stuff, but also for the government live stream and stuff. The government is government in Bigfoot and the Bigfoot community and all that. There's another show that recently came out that I have to watch that might have some good content that most definitely relates to government and Bigfoot, because that is literally what it was about. You can watch that on the newish Untold Radio High Check Live and stuff that he does with a super secret special agent, transgender dude, whatever. I'm not quite sure. But interestingly enough, this also leads into, which I was debating to talk about tonight, but didn't really have enough. I have a different show, in regards to like gatekeepers and accountability. And I think Steve Coles is doing a show on that with Nikki, and accountability, checks and balances, who's really looking at the evidence, who's judging the evidence and stuff, and who are we giving all this amounts of evidence and sightings and stuff like that, map making and all this. Obviously there's people in the Bigfoot community that have to be government. I mean, if there wasn't, then I guess our government isn't doing their job properly. So, yeah, so it's going to come out, I think, more and more and more and more, because, there's a reason why, 50 years of nothing. We have a lot of law enforcement in the Bigfoot community, ex-law enforcement, ex-government, whatever. And you know what? There's most definitely acknowledgement from law enforcement that they do deal with these Sasquatch creatures, like you can see behind me. And almost like there's a code, like in Michigan, it's known as, when you're dealing with the bears, it's not, it's code word and stuff. So, basically, how can you trust people and stuff with backgrounds and acknowledgement and stuff that are really telling us about this background or acknowledgement, and don't help, don't give us evidence, don't come out with the any evidence from their former backgrounds, no whistleblowers, no nothing like that. But there are plenty of people who talk about, and you can look at it, and I think Eric from I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. But Eric, who does the FOIA requests on different state and county government and municipalities, do get calls, do get reports, do send officers out, do engage in Bigfoot sightings and reports and documentation, and they actually have it. And there's some old ones, there's brand new ones, there's all the way down the board, from federal, state, local, county, and all that. Acknowledgement, understanding, and with that, even sending officers out and stuff, even if you think it's nothing and they think it's nothing, I mean, there will be protocols and procedures made for incidences dealing with the bears or dealing with the Sasquatches or dealing with whatever that law enforcement has to deal with, because that's a new danger, a new situation, a new threat, a new whatever. That, I mean, unless they're willing to send law enforcement out to deal with stuff that higher ups know about, the danger and everything, and sending their officers untrained and unprepared into highly dangerous situations. I mean, the Bigfoot community knows you confront a Sasquatch with a gun, or flashing sirens and lights and a gun and big old commotion. What do you think is going to really happen? What kind of confrontations can happen from that, or has happened from that? That's not being talked about, not being told, not being discussed by law enforcement or government, whatever. Whoever knows, keeping it under wraps. Surely someone with a background in law enforcement in our community has to know something, or a little bit of something. I mean, they have to have somebody, buddies, or someone they can ask, right? I mean, does everyone have the same answers? No. I asked everyone. They don't have any answers for me. I don't know. They don't know. We don't talk about it. Even if you said they don't talk about it, we don't talk about it, at least that's some kind of acknowledgement, right? So that's why it's going to relate into the other shows and stuff. And maybe we'll have some people come on if they want to reach out or do a show like that. But this is going to be the winter show, because we got the first big snowfall in Michigan. We already had some snowfall, but it didn't last that long, and it was mediocre at best. So we got a little bit of a snow storm. Not really. I mean, it was only like 3 inches and drifting in places where I'm at. mediocre. I mean, compared to what they were calling for, like 7 to 10 inches, and a big snowstorm, which we would consider, which would I guess throw the entire South in a frantic frenzy, and all this. But to us in Michigan and these northern states, we're waiting for the fun to drive and have fun in the snow, and get snowmobiles out, go out and look for tracks and all of that good stuff. Now that we have a good chunk of snowfall and it'll be fresh, and you can actually look and find tracks of all kinds of animals. And I'm sure since winter is here, we will find researchers and everyone throwing pictures of tracks and tracks and tracks and tracks and tracks and tracks of Bigfoot. What they say is Bigfoot, but in reality, it's natural animals, most likely small game animals like bunnies and, well, everything that has to move in the woods in winter usually hops, jumps, skips, doesn't typically just walk. Doesn't typically small game animals don't have long enough legs to walk in a straight line or walk how humans would walk, and so they don't make the same trails. They hop, skip, and jump, basically do everything but walk, and that's why you'll have an abundance of Sasquatch tracks and trackways, and that no one follows, that no one actually goes and deep looks into the hole and excavates it and looks for the actual track details to see if, is it a foot? It is a hoof? Is it, some other small game animal, canine tracks and stuff like that? And a lot of people will fall for it. The average Joe, the people who are not critically thinking about what's actually going on in the photograph, or, why the researcher didn't follow up with the investigation of detailing the tracks or following the trackway or whatever it is, but it's a big hole in the ground and it's in the snow, and it's in a straight line, so magically it's Bigfoot. And when you ask them, well, why don't you go follow it? Well, cold. I was just passing by, whatever excuse it is, because it's winter. And so they're, Pat on Squatch Talk just did a show on, researchers and what research and reality. Basically a lot of, I think 90% is mostly is not real research and stuff. It can't even be qualified as actual research, but I would consider it's not real research because people aren't really even trying. They're not even going off trail, especially in winter. And I know many people have physical impairments or disabilities that, it keeps them from doing that, or it's more hazardous and stuff like that. But the younger or the more able people still, they don't go off trail. They don't exhibit any physical. They don't do anything physical enough to make me believe that, what they're getting and stuff is anything, especially tracks in winter and stuff, is anything of sustainable evidence. Because they simply just won't even walk 10 feet off the trail to go follow the tracks to see if they morph into like a bunny rabbit because of the terrain difference, or smaller amounts of snow packed and fall that reveals the actual animal track and stuff like that. Or, you can follow snow tracks, fresh tracks in the snow for miles, especially if it's fresh snowfall and it's going to be a couple of, decent days, not too warm. It's not going to melt, but no snow and it's not going to melt. You can follow those tracks forever, basically, and they will lead you into the end destination point of something. wherever they went to. And so, most people don't even walk. They don't even walk 10 feet. They take one picture of the snow track, and then that's it. It's like, oh, look, Bigfoot. And then you have all these. I mean, you have average Joe people, or people who don't know any better, or the 90% club who have researchers who are not critically thinking, or whatever it is. They congratulate. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you found this. It's amazing. I don't understand. Good, yeah. Just like Chex's Jack is saying, research. I describe myself as a researcher, but most of the time I'm just plain searching. I would admit that, most of the time you're out there, you're just fucking searching around, the research club really comes into the amount of nothingness that actually happens and detailing everything. And when encounters actually happen, in those moments, those microseconds of critical thinking and testing, and trying to figure out, or thinking, or trying to get a response, or whatever it is, those kind of microseconds, that's what real research matters. And when you come back after that and think, okay, well, what happened? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Your brain fires miles a second, like speed light of wonder and mystery, and you question everything. That's when you takes off, and it blossoms into expanding into this of that's when that's when you're not searching anymore, you're actually researching. And we literally, like I always mention, we're toddlers out there. We're literally toddlers in our understanding of Sasquatch, and also trying to chase them, trying to find them, interact with them. I mean, we are literally toddlers out there with flashlights that you take your kid out there, 6-year-old or 5-year-old and under, however, it don't matter. You go out there and you say, go run. How fast can you run? Blah, blah, blah. And it's the same. And you look at them, and man, it's like, as a kid and little, they're not physically as strong as an adult. Now imagine yourself as that same little kid, and now the Sasquatch is running around you in circles because you can't see at nighttime. You can't run that fast. You can't move through the brush because it's pokey and it hurts. And it might poke your eye out, kid, because that is dangerous. Actually, it's happened to me. I've scratched my eye. So it's on the physical level, we're toddlers to them. So what am I searching for if I have already experienced seeing Bigfoot or a cryptid? I would say more validation of my observations, and I want to understand the mystery of what the heck is actually going on seeing out there. Is it spiritual? Is it physical? Is it, what is it? What is that? What are these other things that we're seeing? I have my own opinions on aliens and some of the ghost stuff. Obviously, ghost stuff, and when you talk about demons and poltergeists and stuff, I think there's a relative good worldly and multicultural understanding of ghosts and spirits and evil spirits and stuff. So I mean, it's not really much of a mystery to me with ghosts and all that kind of stuff is, but it's a mystery, what Sasquatch is. If it's, a physical ape, hominid, whatever it may be, and the physical side of things is amazing and stuff. But the spiritual side of things, would be interesting and still more paramount, and understanding and whatever the mystery is. I've always been, if I go find some lost treasure, ancient civilization, or whatever, it would be as cool as Bigfoot and stuff. But I think validation of my own self, of my own observations. I really want a daytime kind of a close-up sighting, and get it on film and stuff. I don't want to I want, validation and, to prove all the naysayers wrong and stuff. That would be awesome. And because, a person who does dedicate their time and integrity and has discipline in the subject, you spend a lot of time on this stuff, researching, reading, going out there. And um, there's a lot of people who question you and stuff, question why, question your sanity, question everything, and then it's just like, if you fucking don't go out there with me and you're not experiencing it, then I don't know what to tell you other than I'm trying to get some fucking video, and then maybe if I show you, you'll understand a bit better. I don't know. Go out there, go off the trail, experience it. I don't know. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years now. I've had encounters for 20 years now, experiences and stuff. Try to get on film, got on film and stuff. So I mean, it's maybe it's an adrenaline rush and stuff. It's definitely a rush. It's definitely an adventure. It's definitely fun. You're out there, especially experiencing stuff with your buddies or whoever, or by yourself. Can be even more adventurous and stuff. And maybe in the modern times, it's another last adventure that we can do freely. We're not licensed and regulated and all that. In the 1800s, late 1800s, 1900s, you could, it was feasible to go and save up your money and go explore the Amazon or go explore whatever uncharted wilderness in Africa and stuff. And now it's a little bit more regulated. It's a little harder. I would say it's a little bit more modern technicalities and stuff. And maybe Sasquatch is a little bit kind of a renaissance of that explorer kind of niche that modern man likes to distract himself with, I guess, with modern, with all the modern issues and problems and stuff, right? I don't know. I've always liked the adventurers of the African explorers, the going to China, Tibet, India, and whatever. I always loved that and stuff. So maybe it's all kind of blended together. I can't give a simple answer. I would agree. I would agree. It's the damn island hoppers in charge that are fucking everything up, making you pay for everything, making you pay for your. These damn earbuds are falling out my ear every time I talk. I switching it up. I've got some new ones and stuff. Those other ones were giving me problems, and so we're trying these ones. As long as the quality is good on your end, I'll deal with them slipping out. These are really cheap and stuff, so I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. Try it. They seem to be good. They're surprisingly loud on my end, so I actually have to turn everything down. The link to jump on the show is in the chat. I will put it. I'm sure you guys can find it. I'll redo it if you guys can't see it for some reason. You guys come on. You guys can chat. You don't have to show your face. Anything. You guys know the drill. We're gonna have fun. Trying to talk about mainly about winter and stuff, but anything is fine. We're not gonna jump into the drama and stuff like that, especially if some cranky characters try to show up and wanna fight. You never know. There's some cranky characters out there. So, and speaking of cranky characters, there's let me pull it up because I want to make sure I get the name correct. So if you go to Arcane Adventures with Jessie, she's been doing a pretty awesome video list about the craziness and stuff that we talked about last year and stuff regarding Mr. Wolf and that whole fiasco and Mike and abnormal investigations and stuff like that. So she's actually been doing a whole video series, and she's gonna be doing a lot more. Actually showing evidence and actual evidence that you can see for yourself of the reality of what's actually going on. And yesterday, she premiered a pretty dang amazing live stream that she did with. Trying to read who was the guest. His name. Anyways, it was Arcane Adventures with Jesse, Screaming Demons, Inciting Violence. And that was yesterday's video, November 28th video. Amazing job, I think, with the guest detailing her own experience with Mr. Wolf and all the drama that she knows about, has heard about, and dealt with herself, along with talking about basically everything that happened with Mike, everything else. But on other shows, she actually has shown evidence and raises some multiple good questions that have gone unanswered and stuff like that. So it is very interesting. So she's been to, but yesterday's show was very good. I caught that, and it just shows you again that there's a lot of drama, a lot of craziness going on, and you can't believe everyone who talks good or has a big show and stuff like that. I mean, you can believe evidence. You can look at court documents and evidence and stuff like that, and raise some questions about certain things that don't make sense, and it all falls apart. So she's doing a fantastic job that answers everyone's questions regarding the whole last year's live streams that I did talking about this, calling out these crazy nutbags in the community, these people who are prone to anger and violence, who go after people, who actually blackmail people. This is a person who, in that live stream with Jesse, actually, it came out that, there's blackmail going on, sexual content blackmail that Mr. Wolf is supposedly holding over other people, and he's able to control a certain someone, which that name came out over there, which pretty shocked me a lot, actually. I was quite surprised. And it just goes to show, if those allegations are true, of course, if that person actually does want to come out and talk about it and stuff, that there is no reason to be scared. There's most definitely legal avenues and stuff like that when someone tries to sexually blackmail you and stuff. That's pretty fucked up. So kind of it goes with everything else that was with that round table over there, and all they got to show is basically hearsay. They talk. They don't show any of the stuff that Jesse has been showing on basically a lot of the stuff, and some of the stuff is it's a long road to it's a long road of craziness and drama and stuff. So who knows, man? It's just at least you can see the stuff in front of your face and read the stuff and understanding it. I've been messaged and talked to and stuff about Mr. Wolf's behavior and on the inside, and they're telling me, yeah, dude, I believe everything now. It's like I didn't know until firsthand experience, and it's like, whoa, bro. It's probably all true. It's all negative. It's all So I only got to mention that because he might try to show up. He's all hot-headed and got all cranky at me again because I laughed, and you got to laugh at some of a video clip I seen of him going cranky, and he was on there all mad, and I called him a fucking retard basically because it was fucking so stupid. Let me read some of these comments, questions, whatever. Got some people in the chat. Appreciate that, Bat Mom, and I see everyone else, Texas Jack, and some new people that I don't recognize. Appreciate this. All right, she says, I think all aspects of the paranormal are connected. UFO, ghost, Bigfoot, all of it. I've encountered enough at one location that used to freaking. It's only reasonable explanation. I know. Unfortunately, that would take a lot of the fun out of it, and it would turn it into something that's not. But the more that I actually look at the world stage of politics and everything else that man, and there's a lot of that. All this connection to the evil side is a lot of in our faces in the modern world, and so for my aspect, my opinion, it would kind of be it would suck. It would suck if Bigfoot was related to that shit and stuff because it takes a lot of fun out of that. And well, religiously, it represents the enemy and stuff. So obviously, get some crazy rabbit holes in that situation. But spiritually, obviously, if we're chasing demons and stuff, then I don't think that's probably a good thing, right? Probably not something we should do haphazardly and all that. But to me, it's not. I haven't experienced enough to jump on that bandwagon. Although there are many mysteries out there or other things out there in the woods that I've seen and experienced that it's hard to say. It's probably a good reason, like I said, if Bigfoots are aliens or aliens are coming here, that there's not a good reason why they would tree knock. There's probably not a good reason why they would try to keep on moving people or mutilating cows. I mean, if they're technically advanced and all that. All right, we got someone. See who it is. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, good, dude. Like, do I have any kind of distortion here?
You got a little bit of echo, but it's all right.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this mic. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, so you were saying that you think that I missed like a minute because I just got in. You were saying something about you think that some of these Bigfoot is related to like demons or something like that.
I was saying it's some theories out there that it's a possibility that would take a lot of the fun out of it for me if that was true. I don't jump on that bandwagon yet, but there's a lot of things out there that I would consider a part of that stuff, like ghosts and aliens and all that.
Do you think at all like stuff like UFOs and ghosts and all that is related to Bigfoot, or do you think these are separate phenomena?
I think they're separate, but the more that you look at like ancient giant myths and phenomenons and stuff like that, and stories, these giants come from Nephilim descendants and diluted bloodlines of giant Nephilims and stuff. And so, Sasquatch would be the modern remnants of these creatures and a more wild, savage kind of, wild man. A wild man is a degraded form of these giants who had a civilization, technology, weapons, armor, things like that, compared to a cave-dwelling troglodyte, which basically a Bigfoot is.
So you think that Bigfoot is basically some kind of I always thought Bigfoot would be some kind of separate hominid branch, like how there's like Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Neanderthal, Denisovan. Like I just think it's some kind of separate that's learned to adapt by hiding from humans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on that fence. I kind of lean more towards that side of things. Until I see one disappear or jump in an alien spaceship or whatever the heck that questions or tips me to the other side. I've experienced ghosts. I've experienced UFOs. I filmed a UFO. I've experienced these other things, the stick man or a pale crawler, things like that. So there are things out there.
Wow, so interesting.
There are mysteries out there.
So you've seen several different things other than just like a Bigfoot like type cryptid.
Yes, growing up, I've seen UFOs, had my own ghost stories. I did a live show with my dad a couple years back, talking about all the stuff that I experienced as a kid that he remembers because he was a witness to some of the stories and encounters himself. He's seen the stick man, the pale crawler. He's seen a couple of UFOs. He remembers a couple of encounter incidences that happened. So So yeah, I grew
Wow.
up kind of experiencing this stuff.
So, would you say that growing up with this kind of stuff is what made you kind of interested in the whole topic of the paranormal as a whole?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it was, getting into it, watching shows, and then of course experiencing it, that really either knocks you away from it because you don't want nothing to do with it, or, it launches you into it face first. So I kind of got launched into it, and with the Bigfoot especially, I always enjoyed that more. And then, ghosts. Ghosts, I don't like to get into because, it's like, oh, you're playing with a ghost or you're playing with a demon. It's like, well, how can you tell? Well, you really can't. So it's not good to mess with that kind of stuff. And then it relates to the veil and these creatures and other things, evils, spirits, and wickedness in other places, and things, things of the air that are of darkness and stuff. Logically, a
Well,
lot of these
when it,
things don't make sense, like aliens, the probing, and cow mutilation.
well, when it comes to your encounters with the paranormal, would you say that if say a different version of you never experienced these things?
You cut out on my end. I'm not sure if everyone else heard you.
Uh-oh. Here, let me try shutting down this. I'm going to shut down the YouTube page.
Yeah, that's probably going to be causing some issues for you.
Okay, I've shut down the YouTube page.
All right.
It's if it weren't for your experiences.
Man, you cut out again at the beginning. Can you try to say that again?
Oh, okay. Would you have gotten into
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I got into it because of the shows and stuff I watched, being out in the woods. But definitely my experience propelled me in such a way that rocket shipped my ass into a whole another galaxy of where I would be if I didn't experience stuff. I would say that. Because, I mean, experiencing this stuff firsthand changes you. Especially as a kid, you experience ghosts or you experience Bigfoot stuff. My first encounter, and then you go to school, middle school, and you start telling people, and you get a bunch of like weird looks and negativity, and it's like a lot of people don't know how to deal with that, don't want to deal with that, and fall under pressure, and it's like, oh, that's not cool to talk about. And I was always like, fuck that. I mean, this shit's happening, and anyone who wants to come out there with me, go out, can come. And I would take my friends out there, and we never experienced anything that would, warp their mind that like, holy fuck, there's really Bigfoot out there. But there was times where we found some tracks that they were like, oh, I don't know. So, I mean, I've always been determined to like prove enough to convince people that what I experienced is true through my own evidence. And I try to do that. I mean, it's hard, but well, when you grow up and you deal with it and you're into it as much as I am, or anyone who experiences stuff, you want to be able to show people like, your efforts that you spend in this is not in vain and stuff.
How old were you when you had your first encounter, and what was it?
I had an encounter at 6 years old that I remember at my grandma's house, where, long story short, a Bigfoot crossed in front of the trail held, and as I was walking towards the trail, it kind of went between two pine trees and stuff, and then I got a pretty good look at it and ran up to my dad, got him, and he went down to investigate, and there was nothing there, and he basically told me to, it was my imagination, whatever, and stuff. And then my actual encounter at 13 cemented it, like, oh my God, these things are real. even what I seen at 6 years old is not fake, it's not made up. And me and my dad talked about it on that live stream with him because he remembers me running up there to go tell him about this fucking Sasquatch that I just seen, and it was a black Sasquatch, and it when it crossed between the two trees, it basically did like the Patty thing. It was like sideways, or at least, or the arms were swayed out and stuff, and looking back and stuff, it was clear as day and right in a spot you can't miss. And I'm not sure where it went because the pine trees weren't that thick. So, and it couldn't have been that long between running up to my dad on the porch. We were ready to go and screaming for him, and then him walking down. I mean, once you get outside and you step off the pretty high porch, you could see everything where the Sasquatch would be. So that was the first one. But I had trouble with that, at 6 years old. I don't know.
Wow, that's like, hold on.
But yeah, so that was my first one at 6. And then at 13, that was a very close encounter and stuff. So I usually say that's my first one because it's more developed brain and better encounter, and that's when I started researching and trying to find evidence and go out there, experience stuff full time.
Okay. Oh, there. So you've gone out several. On any of these times that you've gone out, you never.
And you're cutting out again. I'm sorry. You start out good, and then all of a sudden, when you get into the meat of it, you just.
Here, dude. I'm gonna try refreshing now that I'm on one page.
Yeah, if you want to come back and stuff, I'll let you back in, and maybe you guys are hearing it. Maybe it's on my end. We are having a little bit of a snowfall, not that much, but maybe it could be affecting everything. Yes, the pale crawler is what they call the rake. When I had my encounter at 14, there was no term called the rake and stuff.
Yeah, that's like a brand new kind of creepypasta thing, I think.
Right. My encounter of that was before the creepypasta, and there was only 2 videos on YouTube that time that I found that represented what I seen, and it is the Spanish or the Catalina, Spain fallen angel video. It's 2 Spanish dudes walking up to this creature in the woods. That's what it looked like. And then there's another video that I've shown on here. It's basically one of these skin pale crawler things crawling around a fire, a group of teenagers, and they hear it make some kind of vocalization, and they attribute it to the dog or something, and they just carry on. But it's a good representation of what I seen and stuff, and those were the only 2 videos at that time that I seen that I recognized as that's the creature I seen. That was before the rake, creepypastas, and the pale crawler. What was that? Try that one more time, buddy.
Dude, here I might have to. I don't know what's wrong with my laptop, man. It's like
it might be me. I don't know. Either it's snowing and stuff. It sucks, man. You can try. Do you got a phone or something?
Yeah.
I would say maybe you could try on your phone. Maybe that would work.
Yeah, I'll try on my phone. Maybe that would work. All right,
Yeah,
bro.
All right, man.
I'm gonna watch on my phone.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'm going to remove you, and then when you want to jump back in, I'll let you on because You got some good questions. I want to answer them and stuff. I think it'd be a great discussion and stuff. It's just like Texas Jack said, man. It's like as soon as you start asking the question, the meat of it, it's like you cut out. It's like, damn, man. It might be me. I'm not sure. Like I said, because of the snow. All right, so let me try to answer some of these questions and comments and stuff like that. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I did. I did and stuff. It was wonderful and stuff. I love this kind of season and stuff. Thanksgiving and Christmas is very nice, homey, kind of family oriented holidays and stuff. And I enjoy all the Christmas lights and stuff. And my son definitely enjoys all that stuff. So it's very nice to, kind of relive stuff as a dad and, do that stuff. It's very fulfilling and stuff. So I have to say that's probably why I haven't been on here that much. And like I said, Bigfoot does take away from a lot of things. And if it was all the dark side and stuff, like, I wouldn't want any part of that other than I'd shoot one of the bastards. And that's about it. Because at that point, it's just scum. So yeah. What guys? What channel? I'm not sure. Who you're talking about? I'm not sure if I was talking about Mr. Wolf from, the round table of fat fucks, or I shouldn't say that. There's only one of them, but the round table of drama starters. You know what is hilarious? I actually tuned in because people were posting some clips of different live streams. So I just, I checked in and see how Wolf was doing. I started listening to the live stream, and I think, I don't know, you put it in the background, you start listening. I like to drive and stuff and listen to stuff. And I don't know. There's something about a dude throwing a dude who throws threats around, has an ego about lifting and being strong and beating someone's fucking ass and calling people all the scum. There's something about when that dude starts crying. It's like, I don't know, bro. I just can't. I just don't understand how people can take that shit seriously. It is epically fucking weird. Some mental fucking issues going on there. So if you want to watch some dude fucking crying over drama, I mean, I don't know. I could just shut this computer off and ignore people and block on Facebook, and it all goes away. It doesn't exist in my reality. Especially enough to make me fucking cry. As if words or internet trolls could make you cry more than your life experiences. If you're able to cry from the internet and YouTube more than your life experiences, I don't know what to tell you. So if you're referring to that, that's probably that. If not, Okay. Texas Jack said, I think he's saying his. Seen a pale crawler. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool, Batman. I don't think I've heard that story. I don't know, maybe. I've heard a lot of stuff over the years. But James from the Lost Cryptids, he's seen what he thinks is a pale crawler, an arm reach out and stuff. He thought it was like he said it looked like a tree branch reached out and grabbed something. And the creature didn't look too good, so Yeah, that's what I, basically believe. But when you start asking the hard questions, like what happens in winter? Where do they go in winter? What happens to the tracks? How come we can't find them? What is going on? It does ring some alarm bells. Some red flags go up, and there are some possibilities that we are simply not thinking outside of the box enough. And that's why the government knows. If the government doesn't fucking know, then they're not doing a good enough job. I mean, if they can blow up, drug boats half a world away, I think they can find Bigfoot, right? I would assume, right? It's just laughing. I'm laughing at the whole idea. Like, we are just literally a Bigfoot community. We are the laughing stock of everyone. Okay, we are being laughed at by the media. We're laughed at by family, by average Joe people, and we're being laughed at by the media, and we're most certainly being laughed at by the government because because they know everything and we don't know anything, and they watch us, and they monitor us because we're out there doing real research, and as much as we fucking buffoonively can. They monitor our results because they're afraid of the results that we could possibly find. But they laugh at everything else. But most certainly there are government players in our community that keep tabs on people and researching groups and help people and groups navigate the way I think that the government wants you to be navigated and stuff. And I've had my own experiences with some not so trustworthy special agent that you can actually watch on Doug Hijack's show because he likes to not vet people, and that's about it. I guess because you have titles and stuff, it's okay. But if you have a mental fucking illness and start dressing up as a transgender dude and steal multiple people's equipment, I don't think you're such a trustworthy people that you should be relied upon, no matter what the fuck your expertise is. So yeah, it's a little out there, when there's no researchers out there, there's no evidence vetting. Who the fuck's vetting the evidence? We're gonna fucking send it to Doug Hijack or some other fucking gatekeeper dude who doesn't vet the guests that he has on the show? I mean, any bimbo can be on the show with hoaxers and made up bullshit, thieves, and mental illness, and fuck, it's content. Who gives a fuck? You're making money, right? And that's the problem. Is the Bigfoot community has turned into making content and tribalism, and no one gives a fuck about integrity, actual vetting of evidence. You got a good story, buddy, you come on the show, talk about it, because that means if you're a big channel or you're trying to have a channel that runs 24 fucking 7 with like 20 different fucking shows conglomerated underneath your fucking umbrella of shit. I mean, yeah, you're trying to make money and stuff. It's not about evidence and quality of stuff. It's about pumping out as much content as you fucking can. And so it's disappointing when you grow up and you're younger, you watch Monster Quest or the Freeman footage, and then you whatever the fuck else, and then you learn all the bullshit, and then you learn Freeman kind of likes to lie. Freeman has the famous Freeman footage is the second footage that Freeman filmed of a Bigfoot. Not the first footage, not his only footage, the second one. Have you heard about the first one? Have you seen the first one? If you haven't, why is that? How come that's not as famous as the second footage is? Did you know that in his last interview, Freeman said that he has tried to trap Bigfoot by digging a 20-foot radius hole, a 20-foot hole to trap Bigfoot, a pit hole? A pit? He dug a 20-foot pit somewhere and then, attempted to do that. Have you seen the physicality of that guy? If you've seen the first film, he jumps out his car and he runs a little bit and he starts huffing and puffing. And this man dug a 20-foot hole in sometime. Pictures of it, film of it, no. So you grow up, Well, you grew up relying on the BFRO and the trustworthy organization, and then you find out, my moneymaker can't tell the difference between moose tracks and fucking Bigfoot tracks, or doesn't want to vet the tracks, doesn't send anyone out there. The best tracks of 2021 or some shit, 2022, I don't fucking know. It was years ago. Then you have Leon go out there and actually take a look at the tracks and determine, they're moose tracks. So a lot of these head honcho people or people on TV and all this, it's like they're not really researchers themselves if they have no integrity, if they lie about evidence, if they make believe fantasy and, anything can become Bigfoot, I guess. I mean, we're literally, it's going to be another fucking 50 years of nothing because of content creation. Everyone's in it for the money. Everyone's hoaxing shit or stealing other people's shit or, it's fucked up. It's annoying is what it is, because it's just like, why you go into the schoolyard to go play with everyone and show and tell, and it's like everyone's fucking stealing your shit. Everyone's like trying to fucking make money or lie or make fantasy or whatever, and it's just like, dude, can we like professionally look for Bigfoot without like trying to party, without trying to fuck the other members of your fucking group, or because you guys get undisciplined and drunk, Mr. Secret Agent Man. Is that professional? Whatever the fuck it is, there's other fucking people who are saying some other fucking Bigfoot conferences were like some big old fucking sex romp thing in the hotel rooms, and there's some outdoor shit like that, and unprofessionalism, and I've dealt with a lot of shit. A lot of people are dealing with shit when it comes with groups and money and greed, the lust of greed, of money, of fame, of whatever it is. It don't fucking matter. It's the lust of greed, whatever sparkles your eyeball. It is a little disheartening because it's just like, it's just laughable, You got grown fucking, I'm 35 years old now. You got grown fucking people twice my fucking age getting drunk, trying to have sex with other fucking people, partying and stuff at a cabin instead of fucking looking for fucking Bigfoot. That's what's been my experience with dealing with a group of fucking people, is a undisciplined bunch of bimbos. God thing I wasn't fucking there for that shit, because I probably would have blown a gasket. Started yelling at fucking people. Because that's certainly not how I run things. So yeah, I mean, I'm very well guarded with who I want to go out there with and who I want people to know, what areas I go to, and, group camping and stuff. I'm pretty particular about kind of that stuff because, I don't have time to deal with shit. If you want to get drunk and have party and shit, you got all fucking year to do that, Maybe there's, I'm not telling people you can't fucking do what you want, but at the same time, if you're going to act unprofessional and this and that, I mean, it's not helping move the ball forward and get this mystery solved. It's just a hindrance. So Texas Jack said, his dad says he started hearing stuff. Pretty sweet stuff. Gotta start running those audio recorders out there, bro. Have some audio equipment going. You run it as much as you can. Eventually, you're gonna get something, and it's a nice, easy, passive way to get evidence. Just put out some audio equipment, audio recorder. Put it in a little baggie. It is winter now, so it's a little, audio, well, the batteries, drain faster, sometimes, but they'll run a little bit better at the same time, depending on the situation and stuff. But if you can get out there and put one out there every night, get it back in the morning, a little cheap, not so cheap, but a $50 audio recorder, you can get some pretty decent ones now. I mean, yeah, the Epic of Gilgamesh and Enkidu, and Gilgamesh is a giant, a king, and if you look at it, I think there's the Book of Giants. The Book of Enoch talks about giants and stuff, but there's a reference. I think it's in the Book of Giants, or this is like a fragmented sentence of a scroll they discovered, and it talks about some giant who is a king. Some people think it's Gilgamesh or some other ruler, ancient giant ruler. Says that basically, I'm kind of paraphrasing. I guess I could pull it up. Basically, he says, something along the lines, now that we have fallen or something, we will become like wild men. Basically, civilization breakdown and you become savage, a wild man of the forest, a wild man. So when you have these wild men references and people talk about the wild men, this supposedly is like an ancient biblical style reference to the giants, the remnants of the giants and what happened to them. They became wild men of the wilderness, creatures, and the giants of old, and clubs, and maybe they grew hair to survive and things like that. So that's where that comes from. Interestingly enough, when you research all the wild man cultural histories and stories around the world, they are very similar. And even when, a lot of similarities, and that some of these giants have knowledge or built the monolithic structures around, like Spain and stuff. Spain has a lot of wild man stories, but they have a group of giants, and the different regions of Spain, they have different names for like different languages and stuff, and different cultural differences, like the Basque people and stuff. But the northern people and the southern people have different names. But the southern tip of Spain, their region and stories of the giants talk about they were great smiths of their time, and they built stuff, and they built huge methallitic rock structures and bridges out into the oceans and stuff. And then eventually their civilization collapsed, and they eventually, they became wild men, and you could still learn the knowledge and stuff of, smithing or something like that from them. While in other parts of Spain, they have legends of these same giants, except for they have lost all of their knowledge of their civilization, and now they're really, really, really wild. And so you have very much good similarities and stuff. We just had someone else join the stream. Let's welcome Conrad. Let's see who this joker is. How's it going, Conrad?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Okay, dude, it's me. I'm connecting with my phone, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just got a different name in there, so I was like, oh, someone else. No, sweet.
Yeah, I gave up fucking with this laptop, man. It's like dead, basically. This phone's new, so there shouldn't be any issues.
I would have to say there's a big difference, and it's much better.
It's crazy, man. I guess this laptop is like over a decade old now. I shouldn't even be using the thing.
That's the hard part, that's not long enough, you should get some use out of that.
Bro, I literally refuse to switch up my car until my muffler fell off, man. I'm that stubborn when it comes to upgrading anything, man.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that issue now, where you fix the car so much and it's like it keeps falling apart, or there's still a problem after you just sunk a bunch of stuff into it and fixed it. It's just like, it's on its way out. I'm dealing with that.
Eventually, you just got to accept it, man.
Yeah, I'm dealing with something with right now. It's like,
Bro, I was like underneath the car every week until I was just like, this is a joke, man. I'm giving up on this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Luckily, I got another vehicle. We're gonna replace it. Just got to work on that, and a lot of parts coming. It should be done here pretty soon, but I don't want to get rid of my old car. It's trustworthy. It just, it just breaks down a little bit.
Like if you had a house or something like that, I can see like becoming one of those guys that has like the 10 cars in his like backyard or whatever.
No, bro, we got to get that 15-year car loan.
Oh, fuck that, man. No way.
That's what it's at. That's how you get that brand new car that probably won't last that long. So
I'll never understand people that pay outright or don't pay outright on like 90% of things, man. You got to pay outright or else you're fucked.
Pretty much. I mean, especially with cars. I mean, they're not worth. They ain't worth what you pay for. If you buy brand new, I mean, they just go downhill.
Man, once you pay off like your lease or however it works with cars, like by the time that's done in like 10 years, it's already depreciated to the point where it's a used car that's like worth almost next to nothing anyways.
Yeah. So, all right, let's jump back into those questions that you had now that we can clearly hear you.
Okay, well, yeah, no, I was just curious about what got you into all this in the first place. You know, when it came to me, it was pretty much the same thing. You know, if I didn't have any weird experiences, I would have never got into this paranormal stuff. Maybe I would have, I don't know, but I never got that chance, man.
Right. Well, like I say, you know, anyone can go out in the woods. It's just a matter of time, and eventually something will happen, I think. If you're in a good, decent enough place. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but.
Now, did all of your experiences, did they all happen in like kind of like the woods, or was this like maybe a place like the house you grew up in?
So Bigfoot stuff obviously happens in the woods. It's happened on different private properties that I've lived at and also have had access to. The ghost stuff was in different houses, and the UFOs were at different locations. One was in the woods, and when I filmed it was actually at my house a couple years ago. So
now, is this all in like the same localized area, or have you like moved states?
Same state, not local areas. So different towns, different counties.
Oh wow! So you've moved like relatively far and still encountered the paranormal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, when we went up to the UP, you know, 5-hour drive and stuff from here, 5.5 hours. Yeah, you encounter stuff. We had a week-long expedition up there. We had like Robert Kreider along and the Sea Squatchers and everyone else experienced stuff, caught audio. And yeah, so, I mean, I've been all over Michigan, and they seem to be filled with these creatures, or I happen to just get really lucky and encounter the same few. I'm like
across the border in Ontario. Do you guys have like meetups or something like that down in Michigan? Because Michigan's really not that far from me, man.
If you're talking like meetups and stuff, I mean, I have my conference every year where we camp out and we do that. But in terms of meetups, no. I mean, usually people got to just contact me and I'll take someone out, or we'll create some kind of event. I'm always inviting people to come out. So
nice, man. Like
there are some summer events. Me, James, and Tyler are actually going to be winter camping in January. Is what we're trying to plan up if our schedules align. So we're going to be freezing our asses off looking for Bigfoot. Tent camping.
Where do you guys go? Do you guys go to like the Upper Peninsula or whatever?
We go to different spots. lower Michigan, southeast Michigan, western Michigan, up north. So I'll use this. It's really, I love Michigan. So anything below this line is South Michigan. This is northern Michigan.
Okay.
Across the bridge. What's the bridge? So northern Michigan, that is like a big trip because it's much harder to do. Like, go to places close by us, and when we want to go up north. If we have more than just a day trip, can go out and camp and stuff, we go up north. But there's some places and stuff that you can get stuck and snowed in and stuff and all that. So we're preparing for that.
Man, that's awesome, bro. Like, there's a few places like around here in Ontario that are like really sketchy that I like to go to. Like Algonquin Park is like one.
Yeah, I would love to go there actually. It's a pretty big place that I've heard lots about, and it's on my bucket list. If I ever get famous and have enough money to go travel and stuff, I'd go there. You got
Oh,
Harson's Island Natural Preserve over there.
Harson, dude, I've never even heard of that.
That's on the Lake St. Clair coastline,
Oh, okay.
right there across from Detroit. That's an area where Bigfoot has had sightings of locations, and there's an old, long story short, there's some Bigfoots that migrated through Michigan. It was reported by old Fort Detroit, and they were chased. And they swam across the lake to Harson's Island. They swam underneath the water and disappeared. So the locals thought they must have swam into caves or something underneath the coast, and now it is a wildlife preserve. It looks pretty swampy, not much there, but that is the story that I have been told.
Yeah, well, there's because I was like looking at like about a month and a half ago. I was like looking at houses down there, man. Um, there's like this big Indian reservation that's on Lake St. Clair,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yep.
kind of like on a marshy island, like in the middle of Lake St. Clair.
Yep. There's, and most of that area and stuff around there and where you live, I'm guessing is mostly farmland. It looks mostly just farmland. Is
Yeah,
that kind of true?
yeah, it's basically like Southwest Ontario is like all Amish. So it's
Okay.
like you'll run into a lot of Amish on the roads down there, and they own like so much of the land down there, and it's like there's not really big forests. It's like just farmland down there. It's kind of like Ohio, I guess.
Yeah, and we have the Amish community here where I'm at and where I go and stuff. We've got lots of Amish communities throughout Michigan, actually, all the way through the UP. I've always wanted to go and ask them about their Bigfoot encounters and stuff because they must have had stuff that they talk about. But I'm pretty sure they're going to just say, it's a demonic entity and they don't want to talk about it. They don't encounter it, and they probably just, leave it be and do their own thing, kind of ignore it. It ignores them, kind of thing.
Yeah, I
That's
can
the
see.
sense that I would get.
Yeah, I can see them kind of being insular, not wanting to like tell outside, like maybe get outsiders to think that they're crazy or something like that.
Well, especially if they religiously think it's an evil entity, they're not going to want to talk about it or fuel that flame. They're not going to want to do that. So,
Man, there's
but,
absolutely
yeah,
something to this stuff, though, dude. Like, you know,
I
I've
definitely.
bro, I've had like encounters with several different things, man, and that's what kind of got me all into it. So I'm kind of I'm open to other people's stories. Like I understand that like there's a lot of people that are like in this sphere of things, kind of like to make money or just kind of like pull people's legs. That's why I've kind of never really like started up a channel or something like that.
Well, that's definitely not a. I mean, it shouldn't discourage anyone because I think everyone should start a channel if they're really into this and start talking. I mean, it's real easy to do, and anyone can do it. But there are people like Mr. Wolf, Mr. Josh Turner. He has influenced and driven people off, and has made people afraid to start channels and stuff. As
What's that guy's name again?
Josh Turner.
Josh Turner. I've never come across this guy.
Yeah, he's from Paranormal Roundtable, so you guys can go over there and watch him cry. I would say the best video you want to watch is Jessie's video she just made the other day, 28th, yesterday. That would be Arcane Adventures with Jessie, and it's called Screaming Demons, a video series. And this one is called Stop Inciting Violence. And she has a guest on, and she talks about her experiences and good information about basically what you'll get. And so, long story short, this is a guy who's threatened people with violence. He's threatened me with violence. There's a lot. I don't know. You can do a whole show on just what the. There is multiple people who have come to me, who he said, he's threatened to run out of this community to, competition, blackmailing people, allegations. If you try to talk to him on the phone and stuff, or he wants to talk and call you on the phone, he will record that conversation to use later. Just a bunch of shit, man. It's so fucking stupid. And so,
bro, I've ran into like some I've ran into
hilarious.
Some like wacky people on different sides of YouTube, like some seriously out there individuals that have tried this kind of stuff, man. Like, not so much in like the paranormal cryptid side of things, but more like the alternative media, like kind of conspiracy side of things. Like I've run into some seriously demented fucking individuals.
I would have a channel or do more on this channel if YouTube wasn't so such a stickler about that kind of stuff. But we can talk a little bit about that kind of stuff. But there's people who just get jealous over I don't know, views and subscribers or being at the top or whatever the fuck fantasies they're believing at the moment. But in yesterday's show with Jessie and her guest, there's several different, allegations and when you watch the different series that Jessie has done, proof of, this blackmailing and all the other bullshit that goes along with it, and threats and, he's threatened me with violence and stuff, saying, if we're ever in the back end of an alley together or something, he's going to be walking away. And I just read a fucking comment today that someone else said the same thing, that he threatened him with fucking doing the alley bullshit. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh my God, bro.
So I tried to expose it because at the time I was exposing hoaxers and bullshit and just negative people in the community. And this is a big fat blob of negativity, of blackmailing, of harassment, stalking, So we'll go into a little bit of like, he called this other channel a fucking pedophile because the dude's wife. There's a long story short. So basically, if you didn't know, you just watch the video series and it will pretty much explain everything in great detail with evidence that you won't find on Paranormal Roundtable. So if Mr. Tall Ones, if you would like to catch up on the evidence and everything that's actually going on, you can look at Jessica's channel at Arcane Adventures with Jessie. And yesterday's video was Stop Inciting Violence. Actually was a great video to catch you up on everything. And then you can actually view all the other evidence and stuff.
Is this the episode Child? Oh shoot!
No, that one just came out today. I haven't listened to that.
Oh, okay, so it's the one before that one. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a couple other ones that showed the actual evidence, like court documents. Because basically, long story short, uh, Mike from Abnormal Investigation had his kid taken away by CPS because his ex-wife, who never had custody of the kids for years, claimed that he was a pedophile towards the son, and so CPS came in and took it away. If you would notice, if anyone who actually would watch this series or paid attention or stuck with this, they would know that Mike has not been charged with anything. He has not been to jail. There is no charges pending. There is nothing. There's nothing. There hasn't been nothing for like 2 years now. The story behind the scenes and what allegations are coming out from multiple sources that I have heard who came forward is that, and there's documentation that Jesse shows this. His ex-wife called Josh and Nellie and that whole group. They had some group phone calls, and they brainstormed a way to come up a way with how they could frame Mike and get the kid away. This chick from Blonde and Blues, Christy, she's an ex government person who works with CPS, or she had knowledge. They coached her on what to say to get the kid taken away. Okay, and then they called Mike a pedophile and tried to. They did all this. It's come out because Mike wouldn't bow down to Josh. I know. So some fucking family drama that should have stayed in the family, landed in Paranormal Roundtable's lap, and so they've just been, putting fuel on the fire, and it's fucking weird. And so they've been calling him a pedophile, and anyone who's been standing up with Mike's, is friends with a pedophile, and and it's been 2 years now. There is no fucking charges. There is nothing in the fucking court. In fact, Jessica's been showing all the court documents and stuff, and implores people to just go fucking look at it since it's public records. There's a long shit to get into. She's been doing like hours and hours and hours of fucking content exposing this. So it's coming out that it's been a lie. Josh has been a lie. That whole bullshit is a lie. And that some other YouTube channel would interfere with some other family, with a family. Okay. Get this kid taken away. The kid's 13 years old right now. He has never came out and said his fucking dad did this to him. There's no fucking charges. It's a fucking civil case in court. It's a family court issue now over custody. He's not going to jail for fucking anything like that. Yeah, and also the ex-wife had tried to file charges in 2 different counties that they did not accept. Okay. So, and the fact that Josh still gets into family issues and raised donations for Mike's kid and got him like Christmas presents and birthday presents, and then said he's a shit dad because he won't give him money. And it's like, why is this man interfering in some other dude's fucking family life and drama? And it's a fucking YouTube channel and shit. Like, it's fucking out there.
Bro, there's a lot of mental cases on here, man. Like, you ever heard of these people? You ever heard of a guy called Handsome Truth before?
I don't recognize the channel name. Maybe if I seen the content, I would know.
He was like this guy years ago that was like trying to talk about Jews and stuff like that, and his buddies started coming at a bunch of people that I was with on YouTube, and we would do live streams and stuff. And he had all these buddies that would come and troll us because we said the guy's a sketch case, don't trust this guy, the guy's got mental issues. And he had his goons come and troll our live streams. And I remember sometimes this stuff just gets so overblown, man. One guy was messing with us, and he posted a video trying to talk tough that he was rich and everything like that. And one of the people so he was working with this Handsome Truth guy, and he was this skinny dude, and he posts a video of himself, and somebody that's on our side found geolocated his house using the sun distance from an horizon, his backyard pool.
Yeah.
He literally scanned through every single house newer house built after like 2000. I think he figured that it was built. The house style was built in like the 1980s or something like that. So he looked for older subdivision, like newer-ish subdivisions in every city in Arizona until he found the guy and geolocated him to his
That takes some
address.
effort. That's some dedication. I mean, that takes some dedication. I mean, that's not the 5-minute search.
No, dude, somebody spent hours doing this trying to find this guy. So it's like some people are just way too hardcore, man. Like, and they just get way so warped into YouTube drama. It's nuts, dude. I love it though. It's hilarious.
There's always, I think it's human nature to get a little satisfaction for whatever kind of drama is going on. You know, I think that's why I think a lot of people like watching all that stuff. But yeah, Josh has been a big drama thing. So I have a question for the tall ones though. I thought you had a phone call with him, buddy. I mean, you had a nice phone call with him. I thought, you came on one of my live streams and jumped on my ass for backing up Mike. And has your mind been completely changed? Has there been evidence that you've seen that changes your mind? Do you owe Mike an apology for calling him a fucking pedophile? All the names that you called, the nasty names that you called him in my live stream. Are you going to apologize for that? Well, I only say that because the tall ones. You're calling out like Randy Harrington for mean words and a bunch of shit that I mean, I think you called Mike a fucking pedophile, or you definitely weren't being nice in that live stream a year ago. So, but it's all coming out. Mike still hasn't been in jail. Jesse is showing all the evidence. There's a lot of different live streams, and there's more. It's not even really got to the whole Josh part yet. This is just building up. But yesterday's live stream and stuff with her guest was spot on, with her own experiences, talking about the different channels and people, a channel I've never even heard of, and experiences. And, it was a little fucked up. But if you want to watch Josh going crazy and I guess I haven't heard the race and rant one, or him going crazy. You just go to watch one of his live shows, and it's like the first 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes, he will go bazonkers about drama, and he'll cry. He'll cry too. He was crying because, shit's mean, shit's hard. He's broke. He's broke. Do you guys know he's broke? He has no money no more. He's broke. He might be losing the house. He's broke. He also just paid some fucking random dude $500 to come on the live stream to fucking confront him. But he's broke and he's bitching about money. And the guy received $200 from him so far. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't get it. I just laugh at it.
That's the paranormal roundtable guy that's got serious issues, eh?
Yeah, that's Josh. Actually, I think there is a little bit kind of proof, because Josh admits to having phone call conversations with Mike's ex-wife, also the group syndicate group phone call chat with Melissa and how to do stuff. Also, did you know, Brent, from the tall ones, that Josh's nephew, Anthony, has made an affidavit against Mike, a total random stranger who lives in Oklahoma? Did you know that Melissa, the random whoever, also made an affidavit for Mike in Oklahoma? They don't live in Oklahoma. That's weird. That's a little weird to me. That's a little weird. But they're not involved. They're not involved in another man's issues, personal life, personal family life, personal stuff. I mean, like, that's some fucked up stalker shit, bro. Like, I don't know. I guess I'll have to rewatch my live stream and stuff. But you're pretty jumping on his ass for allegations, because you had a good phone call with Josh. And I told you at the time, you can have a phone call with any fucking bimbo that will blow smoke up your ass. They don't really mean much. So, that's where it's at. That's where it's at with that. So, there's just a lot coming out. There's a lot coming out, and people have been saying it for a long time, what a piece of shit this is. And also, let's not forget, the reason why Mike and Josh don't like each other is because Josh tried to have Mike in with, it's called, the group, the syndicate. and this was a group dinner, and other people have come forward to talk to me about this. Basically, a group of content creators that always have Josh on the show, and he, they bounce off each other's shows, came together and said, well, let's all work together to have a syndicate, a group of shows that work together. We'll have on the same guests. We'll always be guests. We'll work together and be the best and stuff. And then Mike didn't want in on that. Some other people didn't want that, and Josh went after them hard fucking core. And then the other people who did, well, they don't go against Joshy Poo because he'll use his perceived leverage of subscribers or crazy fucks who will listen to him, invade your channel, and troll you. So, like Texas Front Porch, Michigan Bigfoot Rob, Blonde and Booze, and some other folks, had a group dinner. Well, I guess watching Josh be a fat pig and have no table manners. I am told that Josh has no fucking table manners. He is a pig, a slop, and throws fucking food on the ground and a bunch of other shit. So does Nelly. And that they don't have table manners. So apparently they all got together and decided, yeah, this is the best course of action to grow our channels together. And that is why when you hear about the syndicate or that's what they're talking about. That's why certain groups of people won't go after Josh. Also, I guess, I don't know, Brent, if you heard this, but Josh, Jessica's guest from yesterday's show said, I guess it's an allegation until the victim wants to step forward, that Josh is blackmailing a certain someone with sexual blackmail content that he received to hold that person over, and basically was able to tell her that she's not allowed to have her show, a YouTube channel or a show anymore. I mean, if someone has, that's a federal crime right there. I don't need to retract anything, dude. Just go watch the live show. If you didn't, you didn't. If you did, okay, I guess, whatever. It don't matter. The fact of the matter is you were foaming at the mouth trying to defend fucking Josh Looney Tune fat fuck over nothing, while I was defending Mike on actual evidence, because there was none, and there still isn't. So I'm not sure. There's no statement I need to retract. I go after people who need to be going after. I don't need to fucking go after stupid shit that don't matter,
Oh, this is interesting. I'm finding a lot of information.
There's a whole Reddit.
These people.
There's a whole fucking Reddit on Josh being a dumbass and fucking people over. I mean, it's a common theme. So, like,
has anyone documented him on Kiwi Farms?
What are you talking about? I don't know. What is that?
Huh, interesting.
What? I don't know what that is, man.
That's kind of like a sort of like a subreddit but it's not Reddit. It's Kiwi Farms. It's kind of like where people like hackers and doxers will compile information if the person's significant enough to have a Kiwi Farms page.
Yeah, I know there's Reddit and there's different people. There's people that they're afraid to come forward to tell about their fucking stories about him because they're afraid of this perceived backlash from his subscribers, from him, from trolling accounts, from, the threats of, I'm going to fucking sue you. I'm going to fucking find him. If we are in an alley, only one of us are coming out. He's threatened violence and anger. I mean, you see it on his fucking face, his anger frontal lobe is like popping max out more than I've almost ever seen out of a fucking person. If you know anything about that.
Shame. The tall ones just said he's not, that he doesn't think he has a Kiwi Farms page yet. That's kind of curious. Like, I'm connected with a few people, admins on Kiwi Farms. I could look into starting one up about this guy.
I guess the tall ones has changed his mind from a year ago. I guess he understands now why I tried to expose this guy. In my opinion, Josh needs to be exposed more than what? I just forgot it. Whatever. West, was that his name? Whatever the fuck talk show. Links are already in the chat. I don't care, but I'm also not going to have you come on and we're not going to rant, talk about, and fight and throw anything down. And you can save your energy for tomorrow.
Why? What's going on tomorrow?
Well, on Nikki's show, Sasquatch Secrets. If anyone's not subscribed to her show, please subscribe. She does an awesome job with multiple different content and people. Brent is, I guess, having a gauntlet match or throwdown with Randy Harrington because he doesn't like the way Randy presented stuff. Or I guess, I don't know. I don't think Randy's even going to be there, but Randy has made a video series about exposing hoaxers and basically dealing. He's been going out there a lot, doing a really good work actually, and but he's been joining up with different groups, and he's been having some negative experiences from people who are having the lust of greed, faking evidence, or just don't have the integrity or discipline to fucking be bullshit. So he's exposing some of the bullshit that he's experienced, and I guess the tall ones thinks that the One Will guy is not a hoaxer, and Randy's hoaxing or trying to cover up a hoax for another person. And you got to watch about 6 hours worth of Randy's content, I guess, to really understand stuff. But Randy exposed another hoaxer. Was that DW or Dwight or the guy from the Oklahoma Symposium? The guy was making grass balls and was like, his wife was throwing them at people, and he got called out and exposed, which is interesting because that guy runs a hoax page trying to expose hoaxers. So it's like, huh.
He's like a Todd Standing or whatever that guy's name was.
Yeah, Todd Standing. Yeah. So that's going on tomorrow. I don't know. I'll try to watch it whenever I get home.
Yeah, we'll try watching that too tomorrow.
But I know in the chat, Mr. Duffy and the Tall Ones don't get along together, and Mr. Tall Ones has offered Mr. Duffy to come onto my show, I guess, to air it out. But I'm gonna say this: I didn't answer you guys' comments when you guys commented it back and forth. You guys have your own YouTube channels, and you guys can both go on your own YouTube channels to hash things out. You guys don't need I don't need to let you to jump on my channel to do that. You guys are both grown ass boys. You guys have your own channels, and I see no reason why you guys can't do it on your own channels. So, there's enough, that's not what the show I wanted to really be about. If we have a show and there's drama, there's a show with drama, but So I guess that's what's been going on with Josh. You can go watch him fucking cry, or I don't know. I got to find the clip where he's being a racist or freaking the fuck out or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's like every other show. So I'm shocked that people are finally seeing it. It's like, where have you been? What have you been doing? Have you not been looking with your fucking eyes, or? So it's just bullshit. It's just, and there's gatekeepers, there's fake hoaxers, there's fucking negative, nasty, mentally ill people, there's government stooges, fucking dumb fuck government stooges, fucking playing everyone's best friend.
Who would be a good example of a government stooge on here, man?
You go watch I'll tell you one. Go watch Doug Highcheck's fucking last show with Special Agent Man. That's a government fucking stooge that I have personal experience with. He stole my equipment. He stole Chad's equipment. This woman told me that he tried to fucking get with her because then they were all drunk and stuff. He went transgender, mentally fucking ill, basket case. He tried to sow deceit in my own group. So yeah, that's a government fucking stooge. I got to watch that interview to see what he said, because I'm going to do a live stream on government stooges and this, and it's like he even gave an interview with Bigfoot Odyssey, and I think he
really he was on Bigfoot Odyssey.
Yeah, because he was in my group at that time. He went to the Florida expedition with me. We took him because he was a part of our group. You know, he was this ex-CIA, ex-federal agent, law enforcement background, this and that. And it's just like, I can tell you from experience, my experience wasn't that good. My group's experience wasn't that good. No one's experience was this guy was that good.
So what channel? So what channel was this on? Like, because I'm coming up with like a lot of different streams from Doug Highcheck.
It's the last live that he just did last Sunday.
Does he have a YouTube channel? It's called Doug Highcheck.
No, it's Untold Radio. You got to find his special show on here.
Oh, here it is, Untold Radio. I see it. Okay.
So, and my problem with Doug is he just has any bimbo on there without vetting them. He had the Squatch Watchers on there, and I have personally shown the fucking dude film himself, pick up a fucking rock, chuck it up a fucking hill, filming the rock fly through the air, and then filming the rock roll down the fucking hill. And then they said, captured the title, did a Bigfoot throw the rock to distract them? To get views. And like, this is the most brain dead fucking hilarious, like, what the fuck? They're listening to owls, a barred owl hoot. And they're like, a Bigfoot's trying to scare them off their property, the land. A fucking coyote is making the most basic coyote calls. And they're like, oh my God, did you hear that? It's like, oh, it's like, and yet Doug Highcheck is this all-knowing researcher who doesn't vet the people he is on. Doesn't what? So yeah, I have a problem with that. I think it's just about content creations. It's all about bullshit and stuff like that. You can have some transgender, mentally ill fucking government stooge who might not be transgender anymore. And, you know, it's like he's reliable in some weird way.
Okay, so was it a live or was it a video that he uploaded?
Should be a live.
I'm seeing one that was. I'm seeing two that were uploaded 2 days ago. Then 1 3, then 1 5.
It should have been Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, so last week. Okay.
Yeah.
Appalachian was government knowledge about Bigfoot with David Dominique.
No, I thought it was Dominica.
Dominica.
I have a photograph of him with his profile name as Dominica with a little bit of makeup on. Dominica.
So what's the name of this guy? What would he come up as?
Special Agent Dominica, I guess. I don't know.
Oh wait, so he is Dominic. So that is David Dominica is the guy.
Yeah. So my experience and like me and Chad had a falling out, mainly because this guy was in the middle of it too, causing riff and splits between us. And Chad was had an alcohol problem too, but at the same time, this fucker was in the middle. He stole my fucking thermal. He stole Chad's fucking $800 fucking parabolic mic that he got from Robert Kreider on top of other stuff. What? I'm not sure if he's got it back, but last time I talked to Chad on the phone, unsuspectedly, he told me that's what happened. That's why they don't run together, because after I kicked them out, kicked Chad and them and a couple other people left because of the drama, bullshit drama. I didn't want nothing to do with them. I didn't give a fuck. They ran and did stuff for a couple of years, and then I got in a group phone call and Chad was in there, and it was like me and Chad were the only ones left. And so we talked about some things, and he told me that's what happened to him. I don't think Chad is lying to me about that. And so he's that particular person has fucked me over, fucked my group over, fucked Chad over, and stolen over $1,000 worth of equipment easily. Who
do you think is the one who was mainly responsible for taking the stuff?
What do you mean?
Like, who do you think is the main culprit? Like, who stole everything for sure that you would lean towards?
I was blackmailed. He told me basically, I had a sponsor who sent me a thermal, and he gave it to my address, and it was for me. This guy was talking to him and I don't know either, because the sponsor guy, he actually called me this couple months ago and apologized for everything that happened. And so I don't trust this government agent, but he blackmailed and said, you're going to give him the thermal, or he's going to call the guy in Wisconsin. We're going to get the police involved. We're going to get, so I was blackmailed and I handed it over because I don't want to fucking deal with that. I didn't want to fucking deal with this stupid ass fuck. And I didn't want him in my group anymore. I didn't want to deal with any of that fucking bullshit. So I don't know if he made that up, or if he actually, because the guy talked to me and said, he's apologized. And so that was stolen from me because it was my property, under blackmail, under duress, under threats of violence through the weaponization of cops and of court, and some government stooge with special agent clearance and stuff is telling me this in front of other people. And
so you think it was this Dominica guy?
Yeah,
so this Dominica guy.
That's the person who blackmailed me. That's the person who Chad said stole his fucking parabolic dish that was $800. And maybe
why the fuck would anybody invite this guy anywhere?
Well, because people don't know about it. I didn't, because when it happened to me, I didn't want nothing to do with this fucking guy. And he turned transgender, mentally ill, and like checked himself out. So he wasn't even doing anything really. And now he's just jumped back in because people don't know that story. I guess Jug probably has never heard that story. He don't fucking know that person because you have other people who are recommending this guy based on experiences with him, or he has a background in video forensic. And I can tell you right now, he looked at a fucking AI video that you could tell is an AI video in 5 fucking seconds and spent fucking hours to determine it wasn't fucking real. Like this, but the whole thing is, how can you rely on someone who's mentally ill, transgender, a guy who's stolen? I have a female from my group who said he was drunk. They were all drunk, partying at the cabin instead of Bigfoot research. I wasn't there. I was with my son who was in the hospital who had cancer taken out of his fucking lungs. I wasn't at this cabin partying, and the woman told me that this government guy who was married tried to get with her, get in her fucking pants, and even though she said no and stuff. So that's what I was told. Those are allegations and stuff. If she wants to come on, she can always come on the show and talk about it. Now, is she lying and stuff? Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. I know people probably were drinking and stuff, and other people who were there who didn't drink did tell me that shit happened. And that woman even maybe, was even like showed a little bit of her ass and stuff at one point because she was dancing and stuff.
Is this like a Bigfoot? Is this like a Bigfoot meetup convention or something?
No,
like
this
that?
This is undisciplined researchers who are supposed to be at a camp out at a cabin, fucking researching for Bigfoot, and But you have people with different various backgrounds that maybe they want to party, maybe they want to do this, and research really is the last little thing. So I don't like having a big group of people or dealing with unprofessional, undisciplined people because I've already dealt with that, already dealt with the drama. I don't like it. I don't want to be around it. I don't got fucking time. If I plan to fucking go ahead.
Yeah, these guys want to get a little rowdy and get drunk, basically.
Yeah, there was a couple people, and it's like, like Chad, he had an alcohol problem and stuff, but it's like, maybe as a friend and stuff, I would overlook it, or we would work around it and stuff, but when reality is, when people are dealing with demons on their own and stuff, and it comes out in the group environment, it's like, okay, well, this isn't professional and stuff, but at the same time, got to deal with your own fucking shit before you want to, or leave it at home and shit like that. So I didn't want to keep dealing with that shit. And I got fucked over. Been fucked over a couple of times in this Bigfoot community, actually. I that recent Michigan Bigfoot sighting in Monroe, Michigan, I was out there days after that. I found a fucking track, and I tried to tell everyone I could, and no one of importance on that high level gave a fuck. Like Matt Moneymaker posted it to Michigan, all the Michigan pages, and wanted researchers to go out there. Well, I went out there. My evidence wasn't getting, I didn't even get a fucking response. I didn't get shit. I had other people with Special Agent Man go out there days after I went out there. And all of a sudden, you know, it's like, well, he's on the shows, he's on Small Town Monsters, he's, you know, in Matt Moneymaker's inbox. But when I'm trying to show a footprint, evidence, I can't throw it in their fucking faces hard enough for them to fucking even just look at it. So, I mean, maybe people don't like me because I talk honestly. I don't give a fuck. I stand for my morals and principles, and whatever. So yeah, I have a little problem with this community and these backstabbers and these piece of shits, these thieves, fucking thieves that will steal your fucking lights, steal your fucking equipment. So,
man, like that's like something I would join. These guys get crazy and rowdy.
Yeah, it's a pain, dude. If you're a group or you're the head honcho of your group, and it is a pain in the ass to fucking have all these people and like vet them and like, you know, like Randy's experience at the 400 is a perfect example of dedicating years of your life for a group or to a person or research an era, and it all turns out to be fucking maybe 50% bullshit or some of it bullshit, you know. Randy has walked away from the 400 and he's, you know, pretty pissed off and disgusted at some of that shit, which obviously indicates that there was hoaxing going on, there was fake going on, there was lying going on. And you got to understand, it's a personal level. Like, you know, you become like best friends with your group members, or like one particular guy, like say Randy and Shane's instance, you know, and you trust the person to go out there enough. You got to trust them with your life. You know, you actually have a Bigfoot fucking shit going on. It's like you and your battle buddy are out there. No one fucking really believes you. And if something fucking happened to you, most likely the government would cover it up. And so like you're on your own. So you trust these people with your life. And then you find out, oh, they're backstabbing you, or they're talking shit to the other members, storing up riffraff, or they're stealing, trying to steal money, or whatever the fuck it is. Try to get, like in my instance, try to get everyone to sign on an LCC, and then, you know, take everyone's information, social security cards and stuff, and then you don't put anyone's name on this LCC except for your own, and then you get a brand new truck, and it's just like, what'd you do with our information and stuff? So that kind of happened personally with us. I'm sure it happens with other people, especially when you get into conferences and money, sponsorships and deals and all this. It is more worth it just like, do it by your fucking self.
I can see people like recording a lot of stuff that you don't think is being recorded either. That's a really sketchy aspect of it all.
Well, yeah, Josh Turner loves to record people on phone calls and stuff. When I'm filming out there, you know, I try to let everyone know, hey, the camera's on. And if there's private stuff, you know, as the person who's editing it, you should try to edit that stuff out. I mean, there's stuff where it's like, oh, you guys are talking about whatever. It's like, I'm not going to use this clip, or I can't use this because it's, you know, it's political or it's something else, or it has nothing to do with Bigfoot. Some people don't care. So. I think there was some hoaxing and stuff. If Shane is stealing, keeping money from the documentary and all, it's just there. I think they had some real experiences out there, but I think that, again, you start blowing smoke up people's asses and getting money and stuff, you're going to fabricate shit. Because you got to get more. You got to get more money, more fame, more fortune, more documentaries, more evidence. And it's just like.
Yeah, dude, that's why I don't even trust that Stroud man with that Doug Standing guy or Todd Standing.
Yeah. Or anyone who's like, I'm gonna make a living off this, or that's a red flag that should pop up, because that's a person who's willing to, you know, do anything for the money. And that's what I, you know, have a problem with Doug Hychek's show. And I was on Barnaby's show that's under the umbrella and stuff. I like Barnaby and stuff. He invited me on. I had no problem. But I have a problem with trying to take someone who wants to be taken seriously, or we're supposed to give evidence to Doug for him to vet because he has a big old criteria checklist. When you don't even vet the researchers that come on, who are known hoaxers, known thieves, or there are plenty of hoaxers that don't even have evidence, that just have a fucking story, and it sounds so ridiculous. And then the host is like, yeah, like a bobblehead. Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just like, you don't even believe the fucking guests you have on. How can you present it as anything? Why are you presenting it to us if you don't even believe it yourself? And I have a problem with that. Bobbleheads, people who just care about pumping out the content. You can get any fucking bimbo to tell a good story. That don't mean shit. And that's where I'm at. That's it's frustrating, That's why I took a break. And got my head cleared and did family stuff and got out of the drama and all this bullshit, because it's just like, it's just muddy water. We're all just swimming through it, bumping into each other. Some of us are more casual than others, and oh. You are muted, by the way, Conrad. You have muted yourself. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's okay.
Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah, I thought that yeah, man. It's just fucking these people are wild, bro.
Yeah, I know. We got Mr. Turner in the chat trying to jump on. Let me in.
Let him on, man.
Nah, I don't. It's not for this show. No, that's what he wants. What he's going to come on and act like, whatever. We've been on for 2 hours already. Yeah, it's a little late in the show for that. Plus, he doesn't deserve to come on my show. He's a piece of shit. He's already threatened me. He's threatened other people. He's fucking mentally ill. He fucking cries. He's basket case. So yeah. And if you want to look at all the evidence, just watch the shows. He'll fucking cry. He was just crying on the last live show. I don't need mentally ill people on my show. Just now watch them grovel in my chat. Watch them grovel. I would have to say the people who made some affidavits in a whole nother fucking state, good luck. If that is true, good luck. Let him on. You're afraid. You're a coward. I'm a coward. You're right. So I am a coward. You're right.
Well, does this guy have
I am because you said I am. I am because you say I am, I guess.
Well, if the guy's willing to join us, let him on, man.
No, I'm not going to. No, he's a piece of shit. They're all vile snakes and stuff. That's what they want. I don't need to have him come on and spin some things or act nice, do whatever the fuck. He's threatened me. I never fucking threatened him. So why did he threaten me? I don't know. He's mentally ill. So no, like I said, I don't need to have that on my channel and stuff. I mean, if he wants to pay me, say, $50,000 fucking dollars, then sure. Other than that, I'm not interested.
Well, why don't we get to the roots of the issue with this guy, man?
Well, you got so many fucking roots springing up from everywhere else. I don't know, with the whole Mike thing, and I mean, there's a whole list of fucking people. What's that guy? He does the old dog man shows. Man, I was on him. I can't remember his name now.
Vic Cundiff or whatever that guy
Vic. Is? Yeah, Josh has even had shit with him. Going right, all the way down the board, baby. So like, I don't need to justify why the fuck anything. I don't need to have him come on to like play whatever, play I don't know what, compromising, or he's a piece of shit snake. I don't want to be around those people. I don't associate with those people. I call them out for what they are. I don't bend to the knee to their groveling. I don't give a fuck what they say. I know what he is, what that piece of shit is. I've had people come out and say, yeah, they said it ain't really Josh who's the real piece of shit. It's his fucking wife who's the real nasty one. I've had people who had personal contact and say that is what's really going on. So I've been told enough from a reliable source. I was quite surprised by, actually, a really good reliable source told me
he's a straight shooter.
Yes, 100%. This guy's a straight shooter. And he said Josh is a fucking pig at the table, throwing shit, rude, fucking playing with his food, throwing food. And very, very nasty people. And his wife was even more fucking nasty and evil than him. That is what was told by me. And if that person was saying that, and I'm kind of paraphrasing and stuff because I don't have it in front of me, but basically, it's like, if this guy's saying that, yeah. So you just go watch his show. He did a couple of days ago of him fucking crying and shit, going fucking mentally ill. Brent mentioned that he fucking going mentally ill and racist on the fucking video. I haven't even seen that one yet. So the evidence, I don't know, but the evidence is evidence is being seen. Jessica's showing the evidence. The only thing that Josh shows on his show is his big fat mouth opening and closing. He shows no evidence with anything that he's ever said. Meanwhile, no charges on Mike. Go look at the court documents. Jessica shows the court documents in her videos. I'm not gonna fucking apologize to you either, Brent. Okay. Are you gonna get butthurt over it? Are you gonna keep that from like what, living your life? You're gonna get so hung up. You're gonna make a video on me and shit. Like it's fucking words, bro. Get over it. You weren't nice. You were fucking berating him. And if we watch that live stream, it wasn't a good look on you. And it isn't a good look on you because now you just like backtrack. You have to backtrack and apologize and all that foaming at the mouth for nothing. And now you understand that Josh is a real mental bass case, and maybe there should be some videos that you do on him showing how mentally ill he was. I think you had a video on him before you had a phone call, and then you took the video down. You're going to put the video back up, or because we don't need this shit in the community. We don't need people who are blackmailing other people with sexual content videos. Black people blackmailing other people, bullying people. I mean, the whole list of fucking things go on. There's multiple people who have came to me and said that, when the time is right, they're going to come out with everything. And they're getting more and more courage because people are coming out and saying shit. Well, if I made the claim and it's not true, then I guess I take it back. But I'm pretty sure that in that live stream stuff, you were foaming at the mouth and basically calling him a pedophile, alleging that it is because, CPS was involved. And so because they were involved, they know. CPS ain't shit. Any bimbo can call fucking CPS and they believe they have the authority to do whatever they want. It's kind of retarded, actually. I remember that quite well because I kept thinking, like, man, who the fuck? I'm not even going to get into it. I don't know. You know how many people go missing from CPS annually? Do you know how many people have been missing from the foster care system? The number is shocking, actually. So that goes along with the lines of, all the island hoppers that run things and, the hoax list that doesn't exist and, all the other stuff. The 500,000 illegal immigrant kids that went missing during the Biden administration. I don't know. No one knows. It's okay. So yeah, CPS is not a trustworthy organization when you realize that they actually give kids to pedophile foster care people, and there's routinely people who are kids who are abused because of where CPS puts them. So that is 100% fact. And when you even get into the family courts with corrupt judges and stuff, it is actually a very big issue that a lot of parents and families are talking about: the corruption of family courts, the corruption of CPS, and the whole list of things that are unconstitutional, illegal. No, there's no apparatus that makes it legal and stuff. So that is actually a big issue in the U.S. And you can look at it. There are people all over talking about it. So no, I don't trust CPS and stuff. Obviously, there are some cases that need be, but am I ignoring the chat on purpose? No, there's just a lot of people, and I don't hear Conrad anymore. He's
no. I'm here, man. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. There's a lot of people that are kind of dissuaded by us not bringing on Josh.
Well, it's at 2 hours. I was actually trying to get off of things, but I don't care. If people want to Rumble Fest, you guys, you have all your own channels. Like, you can invite us both on. You can invite him on. You guys don't. I don't need my channel. I don't need to open my channel up to buffoons because they're groveling. Does anyone let Duffy in his chat? Does anyone let Mr. Duffy in their chat or in their live shows because he's fucking asking or begging or calling you a coward? Does anyone do that? The answer would be no. But all of a sudden, what, peer pressure for Josh? Peer pressure? You guys go watch Jessica's stuff. She's laying it all out, showing the evidence and stuff. I only jumped on Josh's ass because this is a big fucking turd in our community that is having a big gravitational negative effect on people, whoever it draws in. They get covered in shit. And I think that's a little bit more important than some of these fucking little red circles and bushes that people post, because yeah, they're hoaxers, but they're not fucking blackmailing people, causing drama and causing people to leave and violently threatening people with violence. And the only thing he has to say is that, this is the only thing he says on his live shows. If you guys just watch Jessica's stuff, she shows evidence. She shows stuff. The only thing you will hear from Josh on any of his shows is talking. No evidence of anything. Nothing. So you can do whatever and call me this and call me whatever. I really don't care. You call me coward, afraid, or whatever. If words could hurt me more than my life experiences have already almost destroyed me. I mean, come on. This is like ants. So yeah, I mean, let's try to get away from the distraction in the chat. I mean, we were having pretty good discussions before we kind of went off the rails on that.
Well, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this whole network, man. I've dealt with my own series of networks of people on YouTube, man, where I'm kind of like,
you gotta watch Jessica's stuff. I can't explain everything. I can't. There's too much to just go over, and Jessica has done a good job detailing it. And yesterday's guest was a perfect example from her own perspective, her own stories, experiences, and stuff, and everything else. So, I don't want to play with the mentally ill kids who are prone to violence and have already threatened violence towards me because of words, weak little words that I have said. Like, oh, Josh is fat, or he can't, work out, or blah, 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 blah. I mean, if that is enough to warrant violence, a threat and stuff, that's an unstable person. Because, and he has a background in fighting and stuff. A person who actually knows about fighting and violence and, typically they don't want to be, they're not up in your face. Let's fight. I'm going to beat you up. We're going to alleyway. To me, that just is an indication of a mentally ill person or a person with low mental IQ faculty. Someone who's always prone to violence.
Well, a lot of these people, man, like a lot of times things can be solved by single combat.
Well, I mean, if you think words are enough to warrant single combat, I mean, I think you're a weak-minded person because any bimbo, any fucking little kid, any bimbo, any dirt bag can just say you're fucking mama. And if that makes you go into violent fucking rage and then you get thrown in prison for the rest of your life, should we take that person seriously? Should we, you know?
Well, you need to know how to do it honorably. You know what I mean? Like
I
single
mean, you know,
combat.
my mom died a long time ago, and going on middle school, there'd be a bunch of kids that would say your mama jokes and stuff. Do you think that I should beat the fuck out of every fucking person who's ever said a mama joke to me? Because of
No,
what
man, I'm sorry to
hurts?
hear that.
Because it hurts? I mean, come on. This is undisciplined. This is what I'm talking about. This is undisciplined behavior. You want to get pissed off and violent over fucking words and over bullshit that don't matter to me. You know, his wife is supposedly has, you know, aneurysm or tumor or whatever, and he's in the chat right now watching us. He ain't spending time with her. I know a little bit of something about aneurysms. If it's an actual aneurysm and stuff, they typically don't make the patient wait. Typically, they don't have, you know, 9 p.m. fucking CAT scans at 9 p.m. at night for aneurysms and stuff. That's a typically more fucking serious fucking thing that super fast acting. You know, once the aneurysm ruptures, bam, usually you're dead. You know, usually you're dead. I have personal experience with that, so I can talk about this actually. So yeah, waiting around for checkups and all that. If it's a tumor, that's a little different, you know. But an actual aneurysm, no, that is something that they get in right away and they take care of the problem because you're ticking time bomb waiting to explode and die. So he says she has a tumor. Okay, well maybe he has. I think that Josh, if your wife is like dying, basically, for all intents and purposes, basically that's what it is. That's not a good diagnosis. You shouldn't be on your show fucking talking about drama. You shouldn't say, I have to do this. I have to fucking go after these people. I have to defend other random YouTube channels that are not your family, that are not next to you and your family. If you have someone who's actually has a tumor or cancer, that you should probably dedicate your time towards them and not trying to fight with random YouTube channels or you know, just block and delete. In fact, Josh blocked me on Facebook a year ago, and he unblocked me because I can see him on Facebook, and actually that's why he's here, because I made a comment calling him a fat retard, basically. I don't deal with mentally ill people like this who should spend time with their dying family members. That's more important than this and that and that. You know, when my son had cancer and had to go in surgery and stuff, I didn't fucking go out to group outings. I didn't do any of this. I tried to do shows and stuff, but I did my own. You know, my concern wasn't Bigfoot. My concern wasn't drama or whoever the fuck. I could give a fuck less about who was on my show and this and that. I could give a fuck less. The only thing that matters is family at this point. So yeah, I went after Josh because he's a piece of shit. He's always been a piece of shit. I took one look at him and figured out he's a piece of shit. You watch his live streams, you'll figure it out real soon. So yeah, I don't want to deal with piece of shit snakes like this motherfucker. I'll call him out all fucking day. You can call me a coward. I'm not the one who threatened other people over fucking words because you can't handle a fucking word. So yeah, I get pretty kind of ticked off at stupid ass people like this who want to tell me I'm a coward because I won't let them on my show because they're groveling and all this. It's like, you guys got your own shows. You guys got your own fucking channels and this and that. Like, you know, why are you on here groveling? If I don't matter, why are you on here? Your wife's fucking dying with cancer or whatever. Fuck, why are you on here? You know? You got fucking so many fucking years left. Spend them with that, you know? I don't give a shit what people think of me. If they think I'm nice or I'm a coward or if I'm mean or an asshole or whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. Because your opinions basically don't matter. When my son had cancer and stuff. You think all this shit mattered? You think this at the drop of a hat, bam, this doesn't matter. My family matters, things like that. So, you know. How about
Dude,
you go on your own show, Brent, and you can invite them on, and then you can invite us on too. Face to face. We don't have a face to face conversation. To do what? He's a guy of a fucking dude over in Texas on a fucking screen. This is internet drama battle and stuff. Like, pick your side, win the war. This is so fucking hilariously childish. I love it. I love it. People are saying you're pathetic, you're a liar, this and that. It's like, okay. Bitch and complain, because that's the only thing you can do and are going to do. So, if you want to see actual evidence, go on Jessica's channel. How come Mike from Abnormal Investigation has no charges pending on him? They have no charges. If he's a pedophile, how come there's no charges? There's no criminal charges. How come? I don't need to see. And the funny thing is, you just go watch that video that Brent mentioned of Josh going mentally ill and fucking racist and blowing a fucking nut. I mean, I don't. Why? I mean, don't need to have him on here. You want to see the real Josh? Go find that video. Brent, go post that to your YouTube so other people can see. I haven't seen it yet. If you said it's that bad, it must be pretty bad. But you want me to have that guy on here to what? To figure out our differences? No. Let him get pissy. Let him get upset.
Well, my whole thing is, sometimes like getting to the bottom of stuff with people, man, is the only way.
Yeah, but you can't with this kind of. If you watch the mentally ill videos of him crying and going all over Looney Tunes, violent, mad at 1 second, then sorry, he, level-headed, let's talk, let's do this, and then crying, and then playing victim, and then back all around the whole. I already talked about this whole year ago about just this is a cycle. He'll be violent, and then he'll play victim, and then he'll go crying, and like it's a whole fucking year later. And I just watched a video of him fucking crying in a live stream that he did. Shut the fucking live stream down, get your fucking self together, and stop fucking crying on here over nothing. I mention it because he's going crazy on people until basket case, and it's coming out. Okay, Brent. So if you're not going to have Randy on tomorrow, I guess you shouldn't talk about him. Right? Does that make sense? Are you going to do that? No? If the answer is no, then I don't know why you're telling me to do that. Is this your show? Is this your live? If the answer is no, then do it yourself. Everyone has channels. Everyone can do this. You guys don't need me to like invite other people on and try to have a debate or discussion or get to the bottom of it. You don't need me to be the avenue of that. Everyone in the chat who's suggesting this has a channel. They could probably most likely do that. I don't want to have filth. And if we've already wasted 20 minutes or more on filth and reading the chat and going back and forth with bullshit that has nothing to do with this live stream, is not solving any of the mystery that I actually love, which is the Bigfoot mystery and all things. It does nothing. It only exposes the mentally ill basket cases in the community who, again, they want to jump on my show and do this and do that. I'll talk about whoever the fuck I want to for reasons why I tell. And I exposed it and I've shown it. Jessica has shown it. They showed actual text messages, court documents, actual witness testimony from multiple different people. And there's going to be multiple people on there. So what does Josh have? He goes on his shows fucking ranting and raving, just talking shit. He don't show anything. No, I'm not showing anything. I don't have nothing prepared in front of me. I got nothing I can screen grab and show you guys. But until Josh starts showing fucking evidence, actual stuff that we can see that's, contradicts the evidence that we can see from Jessica, I don't know. He can threaten me to, walk out of that alley all he wants. There was a comment on Jessica's live stream today. It says the same thing. I got to respond because he mentioned me. He's like, there was another channel he did it to. I don't remember his name. I'm going to go and say, yeah, that was me. He did that to me. So and they're saying they have all this evidence is in this little it's in this little Facebook group. Well, here's a little bit of evidence that he has on me, because he doesn't like me. So the evidence that they have on me is a video that I took of a junkie breaking into my house with my kids, and then me defending myself. And they're calling me a dirty piece of shit because there's some laundry on the floor. So you can watch this in his live streams. They take this video from my Facebook and make fun of me because the house and the laundry room is a little dirty because there's spring cleaning, there's bags from storage units that has clothes in it, and it has blankets that we're washing, and they're making fun of me for defending my children because it's a little dirty back there. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, I almost killed this fucking guy. After the video ends, I almost killed this fucking guy in my house because he wouldn't fucking leave. And they want to make fun of me because what? There's some storage, there's some laundry and bags from the storage unit there. And what? It's piled up. And he wants to beat me up, and he wants to make fun of me for what? Protecting my fucking kids. And he's calling me a coward and all this and all that. I don't need to have this little piece of shit, this fat piece of shit on here. I don't need to grovel to that level. I almost killed a guy. I held his life in my hands. I almost killed him. And he wants to make fun of me because what? My fucking 3-year-old, 5-year-olds, and other little kids are in another fucking room. Good thing I was there, letting the dog out, noticing him walk in the fucking house. I'm not taking a fucking shit, and then my kids are there to say, hello, how are you doing, sir? So yeah, if he wants to make fun of me over that, I think that shows his character. I don't need to prove my character. I don't need to do anything like that. Shows his character. And what did I do to him? Call him a fat piece of shit, basically. Brent talks about people stalking Facebooks and stuff. Well, hey, that's an example. And I've shown the video on here. I've shown it on here. Showing people, oh, look, okay, so what? It's dirty and stuff. This guy came in about fucking what? I wasn't there. What could have happened? So yeah, I mean, what kind of a person does that? Well, Josh does that. He'll make fun of you for saving your kids' life because you have some laundry on the floor. Don't need to have that motherfucker on here. I have nothing nice to say to him. There's nothing that will be accomplished. I already know from personal experience with dealing with other snakes. I know what snakes are. I know what they do. I know how to deal with them. You don't give them what they want. It's like a narcissist. You don't play their game. You don't give them what they want. So that's a lot of the reason why I don't need to have them on here. I don't need to listen to the fucking people telling me what the fuck to do on my own goddamn channel. And sorry for saying the Lord's name in vain. Didn't mean to come out. And I don't care if people call me a coward and give a fuck. You want to see a coward, go look at Josh Turner going out in the fucking field breathing in a fucking parking lot like he's gonna fucking die. You want to watch a fucking joke, go watch him out in the field. Talking about a fucking coward and shit. I don't need that shit from a fat fuck who's gonna have a heart attack by walking. I have no competition with that. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't like what. So get mad, get upset. I don't give a shit. Josh has started this with a bunch of other people, and he's mad that I called him out. That someone had the balls to call him out. Someone out of fucking left field, seeing what was going on, and decided, let's make a couple videos on him because this is a lot bigger pieces of shit than fucking little Sally who post videos and of bushes and red circles and shit. Even though she's hoaxing and it's annoying and it's lies and it's fantasy and it's fabrication, this piece of shit actually causing a big stink. So he's upset because I simply called him out for being a piece of shit, stinking up the community. And it's been a year later and he's still doing it. And all the allegations and bullshit that he's ever said against people have never been brought to life, never been shown evidence on his fucking channel. And Mike's not in jail. There's no charges. So yeah, he's slandering a guy, calling him a pedophile on his channel, doing this, doing that, and that, you know, what if that was me? What if that was you? What if that was someone else? And what are you gonna do? You're gonna just back out and bow away, and now, well, I guess he was a pedophile because he's gone now. Or you're gonna stand up for yourself and stand up for yourself and stand up for yourself, no matter who's calling you a liar. And then when you show the evidence of like, hey, court cases, hey, where's the charges? Hey, where's any documentation? Hey, no one can fucking show it against you, and you're showing everything in your favor. I don't know what to fucking tell people who don't have eyes to see. You believe what the fuck you want at this point. I could give a fuck less. I can see with my own eyes. I have a fucking brain. I can discern. I have discernment with people. If I think Mike is in the wrong, or he's that, or he did that, you know, we'll deal with that. But as of not, you know, as of, you know, they're the ones who say, you know, he fucks his mom. He fucked his mom to have his sister. You know, his sister's his fucking, you know, incest child or whatever the fuck. You know, they're the ones saying all that. So, you know, that's why I come off with this. And I didn't mean to rant and rave, Conrad. I appreciate. I'm not sure if that's your real name because you had two different.
No,
names.
that's like my ghost. That's like my ghost alias, man.
Hey man, keep yourself out of the drama, because these fuckers will dox you and, you know, do this and do that and find out everything they can to use against you and stuff. And for what? Over Bigfoot? Over what? Someone called you a mean name? I mean, it's not like, you know, he's the one slandering other people with a pedophile name and this and that's like actual slander and stuff. And it comes out, Mike never did it and all this, you know, very possible repercussions, because it has affected people's channels, and it affected revenue, and it affected people's lives. And, you know, Miss Madeline Chap in the chat, she I don't know, maybe she'll admit it. And supposedly she wrote an affidavit in Oklahoma. She lives in Texas. She hasn't been to Oklahoma. She don't know Mike like that. Supposedly Anthony made an affidavit towards Mike, but they don't interfere in another man's life. They don't want any of the drama. They don't want to be a part of it. You've gone beyond mean names. Like, I like what? Like what? Mean names, a mean little video I made of you? Oh, boo-hoo. I didn't say, if, you know, I seen you in the back of the alley, only one of us are going to walk out of there. For what? And I told this, the only reason I'd be in the alley is to throw some fucking trash away, or to take a shortcut. Take a shortcut through the alley. I'm not looking to beat the fuck out of people in a fucking alleyway. I'm not looking to get into fight every time I walk outside, every time I go on my channel and stuff. I don't want to fight. But if I have to fight, I'm going to fucking make sure you don't ever do it again. I mean, I don't boast about fighting. I don't boast about what the fuck I can do. I'll beat the fuck out of you. If you want to know, we'll find out when it happens. I don't need to boast. I'll tell you this. If I tell you that I'm good, you'll think I'm boasting. But if I tell you that I'm no good, then you know I'm lying. Who knows that quote?
Fuck, what's that from?
It's from a movie. It's from a good movie. Actually, it's from an interview. It's from an interview from a really cool actor who's not alive anymore. So, I'll just tell you that. So let's try to talk, you know, if there's any other Bigfoot topics that you want to talk about, Conrad, Mystery Man, let's talk about it and stuff, and then we're going to jump out. It is 1:35 on my end right here.
Well, we're both East Coast, dude, so yeah, it's the same time here, bro.
You're right. Yes, you're in Ontario. Yes, it is a little late. So if there's any like Bigfoot related stuff we can talk about and stuff, kind of over the Josh Turner, like groveling. If you don't know what that word is, just look it up. Groveling in the chat. Like I said, direct you guys over to Arcane Paranormal Adventures with Jessica, or whatever it is. There's so many YouTube names. Just go watch all that, dude. Just go watch all that. I mean, I don't got time, don't got effort, and there's maybe there will be a whole live stream dedicated to this drama, and but I really don't feel like having Josh on and having him cry because of mean words or whatever the fuck, and his mentally ill basket fucking case. Brain is trying to tell him, go spend time with your wife who has a tumor, dude. That's what I'm going to tell you. That's me being nice. Just go spend time with her. If it's really going on, then just don't give a fuck about anything else.
Well, man, like I've seen so much stuff, dude. It's hard to even know where to start. You know what I mean? Like this stuff's so like wild to me. It's like based off my own encounters with things. Like nothing will ever convince me that this stuff's made up or people aren't actually encountering things. Really.
Yeah, everyone's hallucinating the same thing. I like when science says that. But what is interesting is the third man syndrome that mountaineers encounter. Have you heard of that?
I saw a YouTube video come up of exactly that the other day. I never watched it though.
Yeah, so the third, I find this very fascinating. The third man syndrome is when like mountaineers get are in distress or they're lost or they're they're not going to basically make it and stuff. There will be this person that appears and stuff that almost like edges them on, helps them, that guides them, that actually helps them off the mountain, and the person disappears and there's no one there, and that they call it third man syndrome. And this has been reported for 100 years or more, with mountain climbing of this happening with many different people and some very experienced mountain climbers and stuff. And it's almost like a spirit of the mountain is helping you survive and get off the mountain, or whatever your situation is, is like it almost. And sometimes it just simply appearing there just gives people a courage to keep going, to not succumb to the hypothermia and die. And that's very fascinating.
I think it's all related to just the unexplainable. Like, really, with the amount of stuff that's been witnessed by people, I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like maybe some kind of ghost type entities were helping people. Like they just decided to help the people that were trying to climb the mountain, man. It's so simple. Like this stuff's so ridiculous to me. Like people like thinking we can understand any of this subject matter, really. Like if you think about it, if you were to try and teach like a monkey, like complex math, like it'd be like trying to teach me complex math, man. Like I wouldn't get it. Like, so thinking that humans in this day and age are ever going to be able to comprehend like the true nature of like the paranormal, why so many people are encountering things like from ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoots, weird other paranormal entities, like people having close encounters of the third kind, you name it, man. Like there has to be some kind of logical explanation to this that simply humans cannot grasp at this time. It might be 1,000 years until people can grasp this stuff or understand what.
I try to reflect into the ancient knowledge or just ancient cultural knowledge of things, because it's like we're modern man, we conquered the world in our modern way, and yet we have all this mystery stuff. And a lot of the ancient peoples and customs talked about the spiritual world. They had a very good understanding of ghosts and spirits and evil spirits like that, let's say. And where modern science is like on the cusp of documenting and accepting like UFOs and ghosts especially and stuff. But our ancestors knew about this stuff, the good, the bad, don't go on that mountain because the evil spirits are there. And then he's like, you go to the mountain now in modern times, it's like, well, there's a lot of missing people around here, but we don't really know what's going on. Our science tells us that the bears got them. They died in the wilderness, and we just can't find their rotting corpses anywhere with our technology or dogs. But the ancients knew about all these, like I say, the lost cryptids, right? These lost phenomenon that we don't have names for, besides like modern names like Bigfoot, Loch Ness, where the ancient people had names like wild men and giants and sea serpents and the evil shaman of the woods who can transform into different animals and stuff like that. Like those were more realistic and in reality real to them than us. You know, maybe those are make believe stories, but yet we're experiencing the same phenomenon that they talked about. But we don't accept any of this oral tradition, especially of any tradition like that's not civilized, or that's just foo-foo. That don't matter. I find it fascinating. I think a lot of the old people seem to know more than us. So,
well, there's so many weird glyph type symbols all over the world, man, that like all show the same thing, that people saw these strange entities, like all over the planet, the same exact symbols. Like I'm thinking about one that I was looking at particularly the other day, which is that really strange fucking like 7-headed creature or whatever the hell that was.
from
And
where?
it's seen everywhere. It's like Mesopotamia, like North America,
Okay,
South
yeah.
America.
Multi-headed dragons and gods, or snakes, big snakes, alien-looking people in different petroglyphs around the world and stuff. It is a mystery. There's lots of things out there that I find fascinating. Giant birds, North America has the thunderbirds and stuff, and there's pterodactyls and dinosaurs that are seen, but also there's like the rock from the Arab countries that dwells in the desert. That is a big giant flying bird and stuff that lives in the desert and stuff. And talk about dragons and stuff. Like they had names for these creatures and stuff, and now it's dinosaurs, so it's not as magical and mystery. Although when they find dinosaur bones, and I think they found some brain matter in some kind of dinosaur, and it wasn't even fossilized over, and they got like cells and stuff from it. Like that's some crazy stuff. It's like maybe it's not as old as they were saying.
I don't know. Like I've heard such. I listen to Expanded Perspective, so like I've heard some of the most wild fucking stories on that, man. What exactly it is, like, I just don't think we truly comprehend the nature of reality itself, man.
I know we don't. And spiritually, especially like what happens when we die, nothing. And all the modern people have their concepts, and we have our religious concepts and understandings, traditions. But if you have like this modern scientific lens, the Big Bang and God particles and stuff, dark matter. But when it comes to the fundamental human nature and spirituality and the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis, dealing with snakes, dealing with demons, and dealing with the spiritual world, there is no modern understanding for that. If you go to your doctor, and you're like, I'm dealing with ghosts and demons and they're moving stuff in my house, he's gonna think you're mentally ill and prescribe you mentally ill medication.
Or they're just gonna send you probably more like to the loony bin, man.
They used to put you in the nut house, but there's many people on here, including myself, who said who swear we've experienced this stuff. We're not nutty, loony toony, and modern doctors, scientists, government, they laugh at you. You're a joke. You need medication. You need to definitely be evaluated. But yet, these same people have their own encounters. And most of the time, they do have a lot of these encounters they don't explain, or they keep tight-lipped because if they talk about it, they could lose their jobs and stuff. And so, I don't know. I think there's just this funny apparatus and stuff that people in the government and authority and stuff, like they experience all this stuff, aliens, ghosts, whatever, down the board and stuff. But then they cover it up, and they make fun of other people and stuff. It's a very weird concept. Like the media, it's always making fun of the hillbilly, fat, beer gut, Bigfoot researcher, who's out there looking for Bigfoot, and he looks like he's the physicality of Josh, just a big old hippo, prone to violence. Yeah. So that's why I invite everyone. I invite Josh and Anthony and all of them to do the push-up challenge for December 2025. I don't know if you've heard the push-up challenge that I'm throwing out for myself and anyone who wants to join. This is for the leveling up our physicality in the Bigfoot paranormal community and stuff, because like I just said, we don't want to be the stereotypical hillbilly beer gut person who doesn't look like he's moving 10 feet off the trail to look for Bigfoot. We should be a little bit more disciplined with our minds, bodies, and souls, especially. But let's exercise. Let's look a little bit more fit. Let's represent the Bigfoot community as like, okay, these are physical people who look like they seem like at least they're going out in the woods. There's plenty of people who look like after a half hour they're done. That's it. They can't do any more physically and stuff. And not everyone has the choice. Some people are disabled, some people are dealing with that, but to never overcome it and stuff, to never grow in your research, to improve and stuff, physically on top of your research and your studies and mentally, like it's an aspect that we're highly lacking in the community. I think if everyone started doing push-ups, there'd probably be a lot less drama. Everyone could let out some of that steam a little bit. So this December, this next month, in the next couple days, our goal is to do 10,000 push-ups for the month of December. And I invite everyone to do it on their own, to try to do it, see where you can. Obviously, I started out by doing 1,000 push-up challenge for the month of whatever a couple years ago, and then we added it up, and now last year at this time, I said I'm going to do 10,000 push-ups. That's for the goal of December. I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to nail it.
Bro, I don't even think I'd make 1,000, man.
You got to start somewhere. Like last year, it was like my goal is hopefully to get it. And the year before that, it was only 1,000 one month, and you build yourself up, and you don't injure yourself with your wrists, and it's a build up, it's a process. But for those serious enough to inquire and actually try to challenge themselves and do it, it's just going to better your body, your mind, your spirit, and your research and stuff. You're going to protect yourself against injury, which is what I'm trying to express most. If you're a couch potato all year and then you go Bigfoot researching and you sprain your ankle by stepping off a fucking step, you're not even off trail. Like, the most likely injury that you're going to face in the woods is like some sprain or twisting, strain on your ligaments, mainly your legs and your knees. So you should be physically well enough that you can resist injury. And so I try to implore people to get more physical.
Well, man, I'm just gonna this next summer, man. I'm gonna try to come into one of these Bigfoot conferences. I'm gonna look for one that takes place in Michigan, man.
Well, if you're dead set on it, we can always plan something whatever month you want to come. Especially if a couple months and stuff, we'll plan on something we can take into places. Our next conference that we're gonna have should be like September-ish, I'm thinking.
Dude, I'm stoked, man.
So,
you guys always do it at the end of the summer, eh?
Typically in September, because there's different pros and cons. So if you want bugs in your face and it'd be super, super hot in the summer, it's a blast.
Oh, dude,
in September,
okay. I dig it.
If you want a million mosquitoes biting your ass and fucking be drenched in bug spray, the summer's fine. It's perfect. In September, it's a little easier, a little colder. It's easier on people, other than it gets a little cold at night, but you can enjoy the fire. Like it's not like, it's been hot all day. It's like the last thing you want to do is like go up next to the fire and you're hot and you're sweating and it's like, ugh. But nice little crisp, cool night and cook and enjoy the fire. I typically think that's a little bit better. So that's the plan in September. If things change, I will let everyone know. So, yeah.
All right, bro. Well, dude, it was good talking to you tonight. Okay, bro.
I appreciate you coming on. I'd love to have you on again. Maybe have a little bit more discussions about Bigfoot and not get distracted with other stuff that really doesn't pertain and matter. So,
All right, bro.
I appreciate you, man. You take it easy.
All right, have a good one, dude.
All right. Take you off right there. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone who joined, and even the little ants coming in, groveling and stuff, trying to make fun and stir up a racket and blah blah blah. And, I think it's hilarious. It's hilarious to watch them not get what they want. And yeah, I really just don't give a shit, honestly. What are you gonna do? Bitch and complain some more? Threaten me with violence and stuff like that's so childish. If I can make you prone to violence by simply saying, "Oh, you're fat," or you're tubby, or the little videos that I made, you need help. You're a man who's prone to violence. You can see it on your fucking face. You can see the anger that's etched into your forehead for being angry most of your life. You have a physical mark on your forehead for being angry the most of your fucking life that comes out when you're angry. That's how I know you've always been a piece of shit, and you're always been that way, and you are violent and have anger problems and cannot control yourself. So no, I'm not going to give you what you want, buddy. You've already threatened me. You've threatened other people. You've made fun of me for protecting my kids. You make fun of everyone. So, and Josh, you're a hippo because they're fat animals that are prone to fucking violence. So you're a hippo, not a wolf. But I would hopefully like to have a couple more different live streams, discussions, not talking about the drama and stuff. I'm sure they'll probably maybe I'll have a show. Maybe Jessica would like to come on. Maybe I don't know if she wants to come. I really don't think it's worth it. Like when it is worth to talk about and expose these people, but it is not worth to keep engaging with these kind of people and stuff, because the only thing that you get is negativity. It brings you down, and the snakes bring in filth, and you don't want to deal with the filth. So you got some bunch of like hoes in the chat trying to make fun of me because they're hoes, and I guess that makes them cool or important and stuff. And you got Anthony in here, Mr. McStutter and stuff. I mean, Anthony, you should do that 10,000 push-up challenge. I mean, you should be able to do it. I mean, you're kind of fit, right? You should be able to do it. Josh, I don't even think you can do a fucking single set of 10 push-ups. It doesn't matter how much you think you can bench press and you work in a machine. If you can't even do that, you're not physically enough to be anything for me. Literally all anyone has to do is run around you and you'll die of a heart attack. Okay. So it's hilarious. So enough with that. You guys go check out Jessica's channel and go and check out her stuff. Check out the interview that happened yesterday. And I think it was spot on, critical thinking, no nonsense. Like at this point, either you got to be dumber than a fucking box of rocks to keep listening to Josh and his nonsense that he says is happening, or you go look at Jessica's stuff that shows you actual shit in front of you that you can read, like messages and explanations of the stuff and court documents. I mean, so yeah, and maybe you guys can ask Josh why he, is in another man's life so much that he got another man's kids like Christmas presents and shit. Like that's kind of fucking weird and stalking. Like what the fuck is that? He's upset because I said that's fucking weird and he's a fucking retard for doing that shit. Like that's why he's upset, because the comment I made yesterday or the other day, he's upset because he's fucking weird. He's being weird and buying another man's kids fucking Christmas presents and shit. Like it's a little fucking weird, but they're not involved. They don't care. They don't want the drama. So again, you look at the evidence or you listen to bullshit. And I really don't care if I upset people or, I know Brent got up mad and stuff. I mean, I don't care. You should probably apologize for Mike You know, I know you kind of admitted that, you know, Josh is a mentally ill basket case and all that, but you know, you really last year you really tried to hound my ass and for getting in this and, you know, siding with Mike, who, you know, potentially has this and that. And it's like, well, year later, things are finally coming out, and yeah, so maybe you should apologize to Mike. I don't think you will, but if I'm not allowed to talk about Josh because he's not on my show, then tomorrow's show with Randy, if Randy's not on, then you shouldn't talk about Randy because he's not on to defend himself. So you got to either pick a road to die on. Megamind, who's this? Miss Nelly? Who is this? Is this Miss Nelly with the tumor on here, stressing herself out more, or just another bimbo? I don't need to twist everything. You guys show us the fucking evidence on your fucking live shows instead of fucking crying. Like if you're pathetic enough to leave that crying piece of shit fat fuck on the live stream and thinking that's good content that you should keep up, why don't you show the other evidence that would actually help your case, actually help your side? Show something that would help your side on your live stream. Because the only thing we see is some fat fuck crying. Couldn't even talk. He cries. He cries on his live stream. And you're calling me pathetic. Maybe I will maybe next time I go live, we'll show the video of him crying. Do we need to do that? Is it going to be up still? Is he going to delete it? Is anyone going to admit he wasn't crying? That's fucking weird. That's fucking pathetic. And I don't give a shit about little hoes in my chat. Little hoes in the chat, running their mouth. Little hoes in the chat. I'm having too much fun with these little fucking hoes and stuff. I gotta land the plane. I gotta crash the plane into the ground, Jeff. I hope you're doing good, Jeff, if you see this. Weird. All right. So the next show that we're going to do live, or I got a couple of different stuff. I'm going to show some stuff that happened during the conference. So maybe we'll have a live stream and I'll show some of that, or so you guys, I'll show a little bit on live. You guys have to wait for the bow. Why are you guys still here? Is this Nelly? Is that Nelly here? Is she here? Shouldn't you guys go spend time with your family and go rest and stuff? What was that? Take a bath, dude. I'm not the fat fuck who probably smells. All right, I gotta stop. I'm gonna keep going and having fun. With these morons, these fucking little morons. All right. So the next show that we're gonna do. Give me a second. Wait, who texted me? We're gonna do the government show, but that's on hold for a little bit more. There's a couple clips that I want to try to find to show, and then I'm actually gonna probably have to do a couple of different things on that, on the government stuff, because there's a couple of different things I want to show and then different avenues to go into. But we talk a little bit more about. We actually didn't talk about Bigfoot's winter survival at all during this live stream. Got too distracted with the fat hippo. Some of the stuff we've kind of talked about a little bit and stuff that we're going to talk about again is like gentle parenting, Bigfoot hearing and stuff. one thing I wanted to talk about during this winter stuff was Bigfoot spider crawling during winter and snow, and what kind of tracks would we find. We didn't talk about that. A couple of different things, a couple of different topics and stuff. In fact, 62 different topics. But we have a couple of ones ready to go. I have some information. A couple of them we need to look at it more. So, like in winter with winter encounters, how come they're still as silent as they are during non-winter months when there's snowfall and you can hear snow and they can creep up, and then all of a sudden there's some people can't even find the tracks next to where they supposedly heard stuff. So it kind of relates to the more spiritual side instead of the physical side. So there's a bunch of stuff we'll get into. Hopefully we'll have Conrad back on, not get distracted with the whole whiny babies in chat. Why do you guys care so much? See, this is the hilarious thing I find so funny. You guys have just wasted however many time on me, who you don't care about, who you don't care about. You guys are wasting your own time here watching this. I love it. It's hilarious. Thank you for wasting your time on me. You guys can't even, are you guys doing nothing better? Like, you guys are doing nothing better. You guys got to be in my chat. I mean, are you guys going to make a live stream and talk about it? Am I able to influence you so much that you are nonstop going to talk about it for a couple hours tonight, talk about it tomorrow, and probably talk about it in your live stream? Are you easily influenced in such a way? Can any bimbo with a camera talk shit to you and then all of a sudden you divert your entire live show into that? I mean, because if any buffoon with a fucking camera and words can make you cry on your fucking live stream, I don't know. You got bigger issues than me. You got bigger issues to deal with. You got bigger issues to deal with, bro. Go cry. I just think it's fucking pathetic, and honestly, in this community, it's unreliable. It's a fucking mental ill basket case, and any information that comes from that person is just fucking bullshit. I mean, the dude, any bimbo can make him cry in the live stream. He's reliable somehow because of what? He's not a coward. He's a tough guy because of what? He cries on his fucking live stream over strangers. Strangers who are not in his life. Direct and nothing. It's not like, like these are strangers. Internet battles. Block and delete, Josh. Block and delete. Why can't you block and delete? Block and delete, because if I block and delete your fucking ass on Facebook and everywhere else, are you gonna keep coming back? You gonna keep coming back like some stalker? Because if I block and delete your ass, you probably never come back and be gone on my Facebook, right? You'd probably be gone. I wouldn't certainly be stalking and 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 stalking. If you blocked on everything, fuck, you got so much drama that other people are sharing shit. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. You guys thought I was a fucking, troll and doing, some fake account and this and that. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? No, I have one account, one channel. I'll say it on my live stream. I'll say it in your channel. I'll say it on your chat. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who sees me and what they think of me or blah, 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 blah. I could give a fuck. You wiping my kids' asses and stuff. You doing this, you doing that? No? How do you matter? A lot of people think they're important or they're famous or they're tough or they're this and that because of some perceived fame from fucking YouTube subscribers and views and people in chat. Like, you know how fucking pathetic you got to be in your own fucking life to think you're a fucking king of the hill on YouTube land? To fight and die in fucking YouTube land, king of the hill? You know how much nothingness you have to have going on in your fucking life? That you have to be so unsatisfied that you got to fucking be king of the hill and play bitch on YouTube? Keyboard warrior. And look, they're in my chat room. Let us on. Let me defend myself. From what? Words? If they don't matter, don't get upset. If they don't matter, why are you here? Do words from a stranger matter more than your wife's health? Then why are you here? Why are you jumping on other people's channels? Yeah. So enough of that. I appreciate everyone who joined. Go watch Jessica's channel. Like I said, you'll see actual evidence, not just fat fuck Josh talking shit and crying. So, all right, guys. So that's going to be it. I'm sorry for getting distracted with all this bullshit, but it is coming out. I figured I'd have them in the show one of these times, the chat kind of start shit. But all you got to do is look at the evidence for yourself and ask the critical thinking questions, on this whole Mike thing. How come there's no charges on Mike? How come it's already been over a year? How come, his wife had to go to 2 separate counties and they didn't do anything? How come she missed her own court dates? Oh, no. System's working. Let's just find out and wait. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, love it. Love the fake ass people trying to, and this community is full of fake ass retards, mentally ill people, people who are prone to violence, thieves, liars, drunks, people who can't control themselves, who party too much, people who are asshats. There are literally probably 10% or less people who actually care about this research and the subject and have the discipline and integrity to stay with it and not deviate from the path, not be corrupted with fame and fortune and greed, not be blackmailed or ultimatums thrown on them or threats of violence to get, kick them out of the community and stuff like that. No, they don't even conceive of that concept. It's not even a conceivable fucking thought in their brain. You should be focused on the evidence and finding evidence and furthering the research and stuff, not anything else, not partying, not getting fucking drunk at the fucking cabin, at the research fucking get out and stuff. Like, I don't want to fucking do that, Yeah, some people spend the entire year saving up to go on an expedition or go somewhere, and then everyone's at the fucking thing getting drunk and no one wants to go research. It's like, what the fuck? It exposes a lot. There's a lot of shit that's swept underneath the rug in this community, and it's not helping. So, all right, it's been 3 hours. That last hour could have just not even took place. So, because it wasn't worth it. It's not worth these little hoes and these fat fucks and these little violent, little groveling, little piece of shit is trying to force me to do something in my chat that I just really don't want to. So, you call me coward and all this, it don't matter. What are you going to do? Bitch and complain? Because you're not going to show up here. You're not going to do anything. And no, I'm not going to be wandering aimlessly around in a fucking alleyway for a fight. All right. I'm going to try to go live Tuesday. Don't hold me up to that. Tuesday or Wednesday. And we're going to try to go Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday and Saturday, or Wednesday and Saturday. One of those two. I'm going to try to do twice a week. So, that didn't work out. Trying to do something didn't work. All right, let's try this. And if you guys want to message me and personally and ask and talk and find out things more, you guys can always contact me on Facebook and stuff. Except for you, Josh, you're just gonna hang in limbo forever, unanswered. Anyone else can contact me, talk to me and stuff. I'm pretty open and stuff. But until then, I'll see you next time.